about to get into some things. We definitely are. Thanks for being first in the building. So, um, whoever coming in, if you saw my thumbnail, then you know that, yesterday was a major day for Tory Lanez's defense. And they were working on putting through some motions so that they could get it recognized that there may possibly be different types of bias, possibly racial bias. Hey, Cashmere, baby, how are you? Hey, Jamaican mom. Yeah, so now that they've gotten that through, this is going to be interesting because I want people to understand that when they say discrimination, it doesn't have to be racial, it just has to be an implicit bias. So, hey, Iman, how are you? Spice the God TV. Hey, sweetie, how are you? I'm good today. Hey, Cupid's bow. Yeah, so this is going to get interesting if they show any implicit bias, okay? On top of implicit bias, we have to understand how that implicit bias was used. So if it was possibly used to, you know, choose what type of evidence was going to be heard versus what wasn't going to be heard, or if this bias kept certain people from, testifying, things of that nature. So this is going to get very interesting. Hey, Vibrant One. Hey, Tanisha. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Nope, I didn't miss anybody. Says, tell me why MTS was on Shannon Sharp, shaking my head. They keep forcing her on us. Now, y'all know how I feel about Shannon ever since that incident with Gary Owens, where Gary said that he doesn't protect black women and he laughed. That was going to be my last time ever viewing that show, but I decided to watch the interview just to see what was going on objectively. And I'm glad that I did watch it because there were a lot of very interesting questions. They seemed simple, but they were very thought out and calculated. There were some yes and no questions that if anybody, cared anything about doing a little footwork and researching, I'm pretty sure they could figure out, what's true and what's not true. But it felt a little ominous, like he knew something and he was just trying to kind of like segue into what he wanted to say, which I feel in the long run is ingenious because he gets to play both sides of this story. However it comes out on either end, he can come back and use this interview, 3 to 6 months from now, and it will go down in the history of this case. I just don't understand why she keeps doing interviews right before there's a decision with anything that has to happen with Tory. I would be doing interviews during a time where you could possibly go back to court and whatever you say can be used as, on the docket against you. Hey, The Journey. Said I didn't watch it. I couldn't do it. Said I'm so sick and tired of the Horse and Rock Nation. I wanted her to leave us alone. Y'all are so funny. Said Shannon and that heavy tongue, not as slow as we think. Listen, he did something I remember hearing in Ray back when Jamie Foxx played Ray, and he said that the character of Ray Charles said that he played country dumb because people just assume that he's country, that he's a little slow. Come to find out, he's the smartest in the room. And that's what that interview felt like to me. Like he played country dumb. He left some very open-ended questions, things that might be ridiculed later. And then he can come back and revisit his content and make all new content. So it made sense to me. I liked the way that it was set up because no matter what happens with Tory's case, he can always come back on either side of it and report. See, man said, heavy talk is crazy, laughing my ass off. You said she's obsessed? Who's obsessed? Oh, so she's going on Family Feud next. They recorded that Family Feud a long time ago. They're just finally going to show it. Interesting that you said something about with no family. She said that she comes from a very small family. She has no siblings. I want to say a few years ago, I believe that people talked about her having sisters in social media. So it's very interesting, cryptic at times and interesting. Hey, Justice for Us. Oh, you said Megan is obsessed with Tory. It's definitely something going on, but I like that the AG decided to kind of be laid back about his approach, and he's like, okay, well, she put this album out for the day after what happens with him. I'm gonna move my decision back. I need to see a few more things, and just with that, she had to trend off of whatever wave she created. It was no Nikki, it was no Tory, it was all about her. You said because what she did is eating her up. She can't get away with, excuse me, she can't get away from it. Hey, Hunter Jules. Said that was good news from the AG. Hey. Um, I think it's the beginning of good news. I don't think that we're out of the water yet, but this is a huge win for Tory's team because now it opens up the scope of not only what they can present as evidence, but how they can represent other things that they feel may not have been presented properly the first time. Hey, Megan. Says she did look dead inside Angel during that interview. She has T Ferris on the show with her, her hairstylist, and two random people. Did you hear the new song by Eminem called Top 5 where he might have called out Camel Face, Kendrick, Drake, Lil Wayne? Um, I didn't hear that one. I heard, what did I hear today? It's a song with him and Big Sean on it. I think it was called Toby for Toby Maguire. But I'm not surprised however it goes with M because y'all got to realize he's talking about this album is a eulogy to Slim Shady. And if Slim Shady could be outrageous and say whatever he wanted to say and not be canceled, we don't know what the hell he's about to say on this album because the whole point is being canceled into retirement. Hey, Yashika. So he's dropping July 12th. Okay, so next week. Well, he's definitely gonna not dominate that week for sure. It's interesting to watch him move because he's independent of the industry, but if he drops, he dominates the industry. I will tell y'all this, and I know I've said this before. Tory will have one of the craziest albums out. When I say it's gonna be one of the best body of works ever when he gets home. Hey, Elizabeth. Yeah. I did a reading on the AG. Hopefully, if it's not up tonight, it'll be up first thing in the morning. And it tapped back into the energy of when I did that best worst year ever reading. Said I still want that Twitch album. Thank you, Zay. Say hit the like button on the way in, family. So, do you feel that Meg would move to Japan after Tory is out? Um, I really don't think there's any place she can move when it considers obscurity, because Japan has a very, you know, heavy moving hip hop community. So they would know. Um, I think more than anything, they just need to make sure she's okay, because she doesn't take criticism well. Hey, Lorna. Hey, Amethyst Rose. Yeah, we haven't got into anything yet. It's early. So, yeah, I find it interesting. Let me see if I can find this, because I had somebody to email me this earlier about Megan Cunningham, which I find it to be extremely interesting that when this news comes out, Megan Cunningham is like, it's like, where are you? Like, this is supposed to be, one of those stories of the year. Like, why wouldn't you follow it up? Okay, I didn't want to show you this person's email. Hold on. Had to save it to my pictures. Here we go. Y'all, look at how this woman has monetized this situation. Now, think about it. This is a court reporter. This is not, like a vlogger who, follows love and hip hop and things of that nature. This is someone who is supposed to be reporting on actual legal events that is supposed to be considered non-biased, unbiased, however you want to say it. How can you be that in any case if you obviously are fanning out over one of the people? We can't trust you to be objective. Nobody's saying that she has to say, the best things about Tory. No. All I'm saying is, if you have an angle, if you're slanted towards someone, we, the public, should know that. Report the whole story. Said, anyone else screen is fuzzy? Oh man, I hope not. Said, isn't she a journalist to be acting this like this? Yeah, to be acting this way. That's my whole point. This is not a vlogger. This is a journalist. This is someone who's supposed to be held to a highest standard. Like, this isn't someone who watches the Zeus network and tells you about them fighting on vacation. There's supposed to be a different level of professionalism where she is. Now she's Megan the reporter, and she's selling coffee cups and monetizing off of this. How does anybody trust her, to tell the truth if you're making merchandise out of this? Okay, so a few of y'all are saying that it's blurry. Is it still blurry? Sorry about that, y'all. You said cut a deal, tell her to lay her pen low. Listen, cut a deal gonna have to tell her something, because you out here having a whole hot reporter summer. You up here at concerts acting a clown and a fool, holding up signs that says Team Megan. It's like, I'm not even saying you shouldn't have went to the show, but should you have taken a picture like this, letting us know that you have a side? No. First of all, Greg and Gail, I don't have an Obama phone. I definitely don't have a flip phone. I have iPhones, okay? Welcome to the chat. Say hi, are you getting on station here? You know what? I probably should. Let me see if I can switch this live. Uh, see, station head. Why not? Thank you, everybody, for being patient. I'm gonna get ready to pull in a second because I want to do some pulls according to y'all questions. Hey, everybody. All right, so we got station head on in here as well. I want to do a couple of pulls on everyone's questions according to that interview. Not Cupid Sarconia trying to take Angel down. I'm done. I don't know what's going on with the camera. I really don't. Pardon me, everybody. I'm going to try to see if this belt bag is loose. Okay. Does that make it any better, anybody? I don't know what's going on with whatever's making it blurry. I've tried everything I could try. So it must be hot in the kitchen the closer she gets to being found out. I have no idea what's going on here. I've wiped the lens. I have not the slightest idea. Greg and Gail, why don't you hit the super chat since you want me to have another phone? Be so kind. I'm waiting to see what you got to say. Since you think my phone still got free nights and weekends, let's see what you drop down here in the chat. Said Greg is miserable with Gail in the shows. Yeah, tell him up the score. Since this is an old flip phone, up the score. You talking about Obama phones? Hell, I wish I had one. Y'all got any questions from the interview? Anything that stood out that I can go ahead and start pulling on? Now I see the crayon eaters have arrived. Listen, all I said is up the score. You talking that big shit? Let's see it. I'm from 7 Mile all day. Big bank take little bank. Where you at? Don't get quiet now. If I got a flip phone, boss me up. Now you gonna be quiet the rest of the night. Says she really trying to act like Cardi, her BFF. Lord have mercy. Yeah, it's crickets. It's gonna be crickets. What did that girl, hold on, what did that girl mean when she said Desiree really runs Rock Nation? She meant exactly what she said. I don't know if you knew this or not, but Desiree is the CEO of Rock Nation. So everything has to go through her one way or the other, coming in and going out. I thought it was interesting that she put that out there too. Said I cannot tap into the energy of Henny and Jolene, and when Jolene told her that she should have a tequila brand. Ah, you know what? Why not? Why not? Why not? Let's see it, because she said Beyonce gave her that advice. So let's see if she actually gave her that advice. Hey Ivory, I see you over here on Station Head, Yellow Brat. My Nikki. Zelia Fox. Got a few people over here. Hey y'all, hey. So let's see. Did Beyonce give Megan this advice? Did Beyonce give Megan the advice to open her own tequila line? Yeah. We got a hangman here, okay? Hangman here. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Swords. Y'all, a hangman with a Knight of Swords feel like somebody regret they even said something to you about this. Hey, Blandine. The Incredible, what is this? The Incredible Nay. Hey, sweetie, how are you? Why is this a hangman? Hold on now. Why is this a hangman? Now, y'all know the Hermit represents Virgo. Eight of Cups, walking away from a relationship with somebody. This is somebody who separated themselves and walked away from a relationship. Y'all, this is looking like they don't really kick it. Hold on. Five of Wands. Yeah. Eight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. This is like, this feels like ever since she left 1501, she separated herself from that last relationship, fought through those legal battles. They really haven't been around each other that much. So that's why she overly mentioned that lady's name. Okay, so it's something weird here, because Five of Wands to a Page of Cups. This is somebody who's apologetic for like fighting against the grain or fighting with someone in some type of way. Yeah, they're not around each other that much, because this is like forward movement and expansion. And then a cycle came to an end. Um, This is a I say hi if I see you, but this doesn't look like they see each other much. So I don't even like B like that, but I definitely understand B. Do you have any thoughts on Armand Wiggins seeming to go against Millie and side with Cardi? Um, we could tap into that before I get out of here for sure. Um, it Armand is in such a catch-22 right now. I don't even think he even knows what his circle looks like right now. Because no sooner he fell out with Cardi over the phone, Cardi finds her way to Claudia and takes a picture with Claudia. And to me, that was a declaration of internet wars right there. Because what kind of conversation could the both of them have to exchange information? Said Armand was always a Cardi groupie. Hold on, let me go back. Said he was always a Cardi groupie. He was just mad that she was ignoring him. She just started to give attention because she's about to drop and she need media on her side. She's using him. Interesting comment. Said you saw Bay took her husband and set sail on her yacht and the day that Henny's album dropped. I know they were both active on social media, and for me it was kind of strange to see, Joanne on social media because she's very, very, very private. Said hot off the press, Angel Foxo just canceled the show with Armand, Al, and Claudia. I knew that was going to fall apart because Al was not coming back to sit in there between the both of them, and he really wanted no more parts of Armand. Millie just tweeted it. Wow. Did Megan have any conversations behind the scene about that interview? Um, I need you to be just a little bit more specific with me. Like, did somebody prep her? I want to make sure I answer you properly. Said Armand needs to focus on his LinkedIn and Indeed resume and move around. LOL. He's developing some enemies in some very high places, and these people are able to make phone calls that can keep him out of certain rooms. So I think right now would be the best time for him to just regroup and find out what he really wants to do as a brand, because unfortunately, due to this last situation, he's going to plateau before he can even reach the success he could have reached. Because certain people, they, if you've ever seen Dynasty, like they threw classy shade, but they all were at each other's head. This is what he walked into, unfortunately. So it looks like he off the show after all. You were right again, Angel. Y'all, I told y'all Al was not coming back. Al was not coming back in there. Once he spoke about Star and the marriage and, stuff from HR, he was done. Said I never trusted Armand since Tory's trial. Oh, wow. Didn't know Tory's motion got approved. Yes. The last motion was definitely approved. Oh, you said it's clear now? Y'all, I don't know what the heck is going on. So, did Rock Nation tell Shannon Sharp not to ask her about Nikki and Bigfoot? That's a good question. I can tap into that one. I think it was very interesting that in the space where it felt like she was avoiding mentioning Nikki, she mentions her mother, she mentions her stage name Hollywood, and she lets us know that Hollywood was a better rapper than she is, and that she was the real true talent. And when he said, "Who did Holly have you listen to?" She's like, "Holly had me listening to Little Kim." So it's like, I wish that we could hear you give your mother her flowers without it being attached to, a little under a little undercover shade, because it's, for me, I feel the Pimp C verse, like she's always said she was, Tina Snow, which is like, the female version of Tony Snow. But that UGK feature did not come off right. I would have rather heard her pull something out the vault from her mother and her mom rap on the same track. I think that would have been dope. Oh, you said Al would probably be suing for a hostile work environment. I got the energy around him that feels like he would definitely take that full throttle and do that. So I would not be surprised, not at all. But let's tap into this question about Rock Nation and Shannon Sharp. Did Rock Nation tell Shannon Sharp not to ask about Nikki and Bigfoot? Did Rock Nation tell Shannon Sharp not to ask about his versus Bigfoot? Interesting enough. Eight of Cups, walking away from a situation, people, places, or things. Queen of Cups. So it's like right now, Queen of Cups is the most well-loved or most, loving queen. So this looks like they wanted her to abandon this for now because right now Nikki's the golden child and it wouldn't have come off too well. So this is a middleman that, wanted to help guide her in what she was supposed to say. And it looks like they even told her to, stay away from events from the past. Okay, so we've got the World, which is the end of a cycle, the Empress, and the Page of Wands. So that's the energy around the cycle of her mother coming to an end and how there's going to be a new direction, a new way that things are going to turn now that her mother is no longer here. Yeah, this is definitely, mom's the word. Don't say anything when it comes to Nikki. And they told her to, be careful on what she says and how she chooses her words in this situation so that they can keep the balance. So looks like, yeah, she was definitely coached to stay away from any questions involving her right now, to leave the drama in the past and move forward, pretty much to act like it never even happened. He said, Bay said, you on your own now. We are no longer accessible. Hey, Nisi Pooh, how are you? So can you read on Rick Ross, on how Rick Ross feels about the Canada situation? Yeah, I can tap into that. He said, Jesus, she's not embarrassed. I couldn't do it. B don't even like me and won't support my album. Said, but paid the Plan B remix dust and deleted it off YouTube. Right. That's something right there. I thought of that as soon as I heard her say how sweet Kim was, and Kim was such a great person, and she's such a sweet person. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you did Plan B. Plan B actually was solid. And then before 24 hours was up, the song was done. It was like you never even did it. And even to this day, to find Plan B is not on her page. It's on like a YouTuber who downloaded it and uploaded it with the picture. So I never did understand that. Why pay homage to Kim? Once again, same thing with your mother. You want to pay homage when it's time to feel the part of the conversation that would possibly be attached to Nikki. So it was that for me was a little cringe because it's like, okay, I've been telling all of y'all that Hollywood was, the motion behind the pen, that she was the better rapper. I've been telling y'all that for this past year. So it felt good to hear her give her mom her props. I just felt like it was wrong the way it was done, because it's like, would you have given her props any other time if it wasn't to slight someone else? That feels a little messy to me. I don't know. Could be just me. Said he asked several guests about rap beef and Mitch and Mig versus Nikki. So it was weird that he didn't talk. Yeah, that he didn't ask her at all or talk about it. Uh-oh. Hold on. Said, right, give her genuine flowers. She didn't get to smell when she was alive. Right. I agree. Said, my personal opinion, Meg and her mom could have been clashing and bumping heads before her mom passed away. Spiritually, when I did a reading on their energy, it felt like a sibling rivalry. So I knew Shannon wasn't going to bring that up, but he eventually will be petty and bring Nikki on whenever this story situation is over. Baby, that would break the internet in half. If he does an episode with Nikki and Nikki discusses what she wants, oh my God. Said, or maybe her mom found out something. That's an interesting comment. Said, hey, Princess La. Said her mom found out that you was sleeping with my man. Oops. Allegedly. Said they want her to play the unbothered role. How did Rock Nation feel about the interview? Hey, Brianna Youth. I haven't seen you in here before, but welcome to the chat. We can tap into that. How did I feel about Meg's performance at the BET Awards? Before I do the tap in, I'll tell you this. From the business side, I thought the performances were solid, but what I'll tell you is that I've noticed that, working behind the scenes showed me is that here it is. Megan brings in the show. She opens the show, boom, big energy, right? But when the show closes, it closes with Glorilla, and she's the feature to Glorilla. And then right after that, we see Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, and Rihanna singing Glorilla's new song. Well, she's rapping it rather. It felt like to me that they made Megan pass the mic and she didn't even realize it. That if they have to be prepared to release her, that Glow is a good understudy. Like, she's already performed with you. She's become a crowd favorite. She's got more hits out than you right now. She would be a good investment. That's what it felt like to me. So was there beef with her and Kim behind the scenes? I could tap into that. Um, let me see. We're gonna tap into how did Cop Nation, as y'all call it, feel about the interview. You said Rihanna don't F with Megan. Oh, it showed because the way she was on Glow, I said, oh, wait a minute. We got something going on here. And then she inboxed her and said, you know, I'm pretty much, I know I'm being extra, but when's the next album? You know, when you gonna drop an album? So I'm just like, yeah, that you got people at the top of the industry that are ready for you to just go ahead and step down. So I feel like Meg, didn't like the contract, how her mom was controlling it. Um, that's even interesting because if you look at Barb City's interview with Nessa Carey's, that was actually her contract that was handed over to Megan, according to her. Rock Nation, how'd y'all feel about this interview? Y'all, for those of you that can see me, you see this? The Magician and the Two of Swords. Y'all, this is about to be a bumpy ride the rest of the year. Thank you, Justice for Us. Said we got to get these likes up. So, y'all, the Magician, like I said, the Magician to the Two of Swords, that's manifesting cutting someone off. Said it was my understanding her mom didn't like that thoughtin' and bopping sexual music she made since she passed away. Well, I do remember her mother telling her to be more broad with her pen, to, you know, not let that to be the only content. So that sounds about right. So I'm already tired, Angel, laughing my ass off. I can't do this anymore. Baby, listen, 2024 is only the little sister to 2025. I'm telling y'all that right now. Y'all got to realize people going to court 2025 to 2026. Y'all think that the dockets is interesting now? Wait till they get to going off in discovery and you really discover that, you know, some of these people really strange. They're a bit weird. But yeah, let's go a little further. What did Rock Nation feel about this interview? Hangman. Seven of Swords. I don't think that they wanted her to do this interview. She may have snuck to do this interview without them okaying it. The Sun, okay. And the Moon. Y'all, it's a lot that they did not want to be illuminated, that they wanted to continue to keep quiet due to this case coming up, the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck, which is the judge, jury, and executioner. We know the AG would be one of the highest lawyers in the land. So they did not want her, I'm going to say allegedly, they did not want her to do this interview before the AG spoke. They didn't think that it was a good idea for her to talk right now and that this was a hangman. Yes, I'm saying that this year is about to drag on for sure. So get you some energy drinks and get your energy up. Said it's all smoke and mirrors. That show didn't sell out. It was seat fillers. Lord have mercy, y'all. So we got the Seven of Wands. And the devil, this goes two ways. So this is like being defensive over toxic, chaotic energy, but this is also expects, the brunt of everything to come into effect somewhere near Capricorn season. We know that's in December, so the defense could definitely have a huge break by December. Hey, DeMarcus mom. Hey, Tanisha. Said how Meg bypassed Desiree's instructions to do that interview. That's interesting. Yeah, this doesn't feel like they wanted her to invest in doing this. This is not the energy that I got. They were worried about what could be brought to the light versus what should have remained secret due to this impending case. And then you got Page of Pentacles, which means that this was a new action that she tried, but this is something that didn't pay off much. Hey, Castero. Much love to you as well. She thought this was going to be, her ship's coming in. But let's remember, the last time she felt that way, she did the interview with Gayle King, and that ended up being used in court. So I see why they didn't want her to say anything, because everything that she says right now becomes admissible in court. You said this girl is so hard-headed. Y'all are hilarious. Let me see what they're talking about on Station Head. Blessings to you too, DeMarcus mom. So yeah, she funny enough, I want y'all to realize that Shannon Sharp made her admit to something that was very key. Okay, I feel like this whole interview is going to be looked back upon as like a milestone, because you're going to look at when the evidence took a turn, because it's like she does this interview, and then right after she does this interview, we find out that the AG decided to push the motion through for Tory. So this is pretty much how the rest of the year is going to go, because whether she knows it or not, the AG is, it's like they're glued to her. They're watching things as they go. And it's kind of sad, because they're looking like, what type of lawyers do you have that you're out here speaking freely? Like right now is not the time, allegedly. King of Cups, Eight of Wands, Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So this is saying right here, like they're keeping a stone face about the whole situation, but they're moving swiftly, okay? They're very deeply moved by her doing this interview. She's got to stop consulting her friends, okay? The friends who are telling her that she's right and go ahead and do this, they don't have any responsibility. They don't have the type of career that she has. And when, funny enough, she said it herself. I don't know if it was Cobra said, if I was to lose it all, they all be gone tomorrow. So it's like, with you knowing that you can't afford them the lifestyle that they have hanging out with you, why would you let them be the ones to advise you? They literally don't have what you have to lose. They just walk away if you lose, and they find something else to do. So how did Des feel when Megan said she runs Cop Nation? I know Shapiro tired, baby. Listen, can we tap in and see, is T. Ferris around, or is he advising her? Does she listen to him? I could tell you right now, T. Ferris is thinking about T. Ferris, and T. Ferris about to be like, where's Waldo? You're going to look up and say, damn, I ain't seen him in a minute. And it's really going to be a nice amount of time, because he's going to fade to black. He's not going to let his face be tied to this any closer than it has to be. Said, and the Camel's wife are out of the country posting every other girl that performs at the BET except, damn, the drunken horse. Let me know what I already knew. They don't mess with that drunk. Allegedly. But good comment because, listen, I had told someone earlier today, I noticed a long time ago there was a rift because when those Ivy Parker boxes went out, everybody got an Ivy Parker box but Meg. And when there was an artist profile on Adidas to go with the Ivy Parker brand, they did a highlight on Mariah the Scientist, who is Tory's artist. And that right there was just like, wait a minute. Why would she be, you know, profiling Tory's artist and then Meg doesn't get a box? That told me all I needed to know right there. Say, please pull on Shannon, bring Nikki on when all this is over. Hell, Tory. Now that would be an interesting angle. Will Shannon bring Tory on if he's, you know, still around after this is all over? That would be an interesting angle because he would be the first to have an interview from both of them. Yeah, T. Ferris is gonna be on Family Feud with her, y'all, but they shot that months ago, like last year. That's not even close to being new. They shot that so far in advance. It's just now that they're finally gonna let it play in the loop for the episodes. But my thing is, where is T. Ferris now? Because let's remember, he's supposed to be her guardian. And if it wasn't for Millie, that's some information we wouldn't know because that came from one of her friends that he became her guardian when her mom was passing away. Let's see what y'all talking about. You said Shannon and Kat did discuss the case. I don't know who brought the case up. I have to go back and look. That was a long interview, so I'm going to have to skip through. Oh, okay, so Shannon is a Cancer. Ain't that about nothing? A Cancer in Cancer season. I knew I felt like that was a bad turn for her doing that interview. Hell, I thought the Gayle King interview was a terrible idea. Can you do a reading to see how little Kim truly feels about these rap girls? I would hope at her age she is satisfied with girls only liking her when they fall out with Nicki. I don't think that's a big part of her life, to be honest with you. Y'all got to remember, she was around before Nicki. So Nicki wouldn't be the first girl that's been thrown in her face. But I can tap into the energy. I'm about to say, some of y'all don't know how rocky her feud was with Foxy. That was a feud. Y'all see how it ended. You said you drinking tea or wine. Actually, neither one. This is water. A nice glass of red wine would be beautiful, though. Why do you think Little Kim is bitter, sweetheart? And, you know, I'm looking for an honest answer. Because in my age group, I was around when Kim first hit the scene. So I saw what Kim was with no social media. And then I saw when, you know, Kim got in trouble, her and Foxy both. And that case messed up a lot for the both of them. And then here it is. Nikki comes in because there's obviously an open spot. Everybody was doing something different. So she jumped in at the right time. Yeah, I grew up on Kim too. I was around before Nikki, so I'm not gonna step on one to give another one the props. Cause some of y'all, believe it or not, without Kim's initial influence, a lot of the girls, even Foxy, wouldn't have been as open and in your face as they are now. Said in my opinion, because she feels that Nikki replaced her and she can't take it. Nikki was hungry and confident in herself. Um, I mean, I'm glad that you said that that's in your opinion. Thank you. I appreciate you, boo. God send it back to her tenfold. Let me like this post. There we go. So it seems like whenever the rap girlies fall out with Nikki, she is seen shortly after showing them love. I feel Kim is bitter because she feels Nikki stole her style, but she didn't. Nikki said on numerous occasions she gave her respect. Okay, so let me give y'all a history lesson before I pull. Nikki's first manager as a solo artist, Big Fendi, was in love with Little Kim. And he would have her doing things that mirrored Kim. This was before Deb Atney came into the whole situation. Big Fendi also would market Nikki with porn stars. And I probably shouldn't have said that on here, with corn stars, whatever. Um, he would have them come in and do shows together. He's the one gave her the name Minaj. So you talking about him being cool with her. That ain't got nothing to do with the history. When Deb came in, Deb separated the energy and said, no, I don't feel that you should pit the girls against each other. Let Nikki shine and do what she does on her own. Deb stopped that comparison because Big Fendi was trying to model her after Kim, because Fendi had a big thing for Kim. So even that first picture where she's got the lollipop and she's got her legs open, that was simulated after Kim's album cover. Deb said, no, we gonna separate all of that. She gonna have her own identity. She's dope. You don't need to put the women against each other, and she don't need to be like anybody else. She can sell on her own. So we gotta give credit for how the history actually went, because even now, Deb still had to check Big Fendi, because Big Fendi was trying to make Nikki, in the beginning of her career, he was trying to make her the new Kim. Deb separated all of that. She separated the corn stars from her image and everything that he was trying to do. And was like, no, we're going to remarket her. We're going to package her better than this. You're not going to just have her out here smutted out with her image. So Deb really did help her to boss her image up so that she could be more polished for the market. If she would have stayed with Fendi, she wouldn't have went as far, because Fendi had it etched in his head that whatever was hot that came out had to be similar to Kim. So that's where any problems came from in the beginning all the way around. It was because of Fendi and what vision he had for what he thought was hot and what he wanted Nikki to do. Deb made sure that Nikki had her own voice, her own sound, her own image. She separated everything. I didn't know she did a Tasha K interview. I'm gonna have to check it out. So I don't know. It makes no sense to me because none of the female rappers before Nicki just dipped. Um, I'm not gonna say they just dipped. The two biggest ones in the industry, well, no, three, because Remy went to prison first. Nick, the whole thing with Foxy and Little Kim. Kim did a year. Foxy had the ear problem, and Foxy kept going back and forth to jail. So it was like, I want to say '09, '08 to '09, even '07. I'll give it 2 years. '07 to '09. Everybody had legal troubles, was going to jail, just, wasn't on their job, wasn't putting their music out like they should have had, which left a huge void where only men were making music. So that's why I said Nicki, right time, right place. She happened to jump in where there was a gap because all those girls were having legal issues. Hold on, where y'all at? No, here's the thing, Jersey G. I mean, excuse me, AJ. There's other things that happened after she left Big Fendi. Because a lot of y'all don't know that Little Kim also, moonlighted. She worked over at Cash Money, when Nicki first was coming in. So they had issues after she came in as well. And I really think that for them to get to the bottom of everything that's going on in between them, they got to remove the other people and they need to sit down and have a conversation. If folks got to yell and scream and do whatever they got to do, get it out your system, come to an understanding, and I guarantee you most of the issue was probably side conversation from the men that were around them. Said that's how we got the famous squat photo of Nicki that was Fendi. Right. Absolutely. Said Nicki sings, raps, acts, use alter egos, uses different flows. Um, DeMarcus' mom, I'm gonna have to call you on that. I'm gonna have to call bullshit because y'all keep trying to undercut Kim for her influence and what she did. Kim's flow was impeccable. That you cannot take away from Kim. Kim also has acted in movies and she's done some other things. Now, maybe, she didn't do the pop star side of it that Nicki did, but a lot of what you're talking about, Kim already done. Y'all can't be so biased that you can't give people, their actual credit where credit is due. No matter what, credit is where credit is due. Now, Kim is definitely not in a position now that she used to be, by far. She's not even halfway to where I think that she should be because Kim has a hell of a catalog and she definitely had the culture in a headlock. It just seems like when she got out of the feds, she was not the same. And it's to be understood. I mean, that's a real hard body experience. But that's just to me. She definitely, like, she did what's that album, the Naked Truth album, right before she went to lock up. It seemed like everything she did after she got home just did not feel like, it didn't feel like it was locked in the way it needed to be. Kim just, she felt different. Said Armand taking cash isn't on Twitter saying Al got what he wanted, saying Al wanted to get him fired and the show canceled. Lord. Al is going to bounce back and still be on TV. I don't know about Armand. He made it real hard for himself. Say, why not focus on making more music, Kim? Working on her flow or more music. Well, sweetie, who are you to say that she hasn't? Just because you don't see her doing it all the time in social media don't mean that she not in the lab. That's the bigger difference I want to say between the older generation and the new generation. The new generation go live from the studio and will drop the trashiest album ever known to man and let you walk through the whole step of putting that album together, being a part of the moment, just to get the 3 or 4 songs that they got on the radio to be the only hot songs, and the rest of the album is trash. So not everybody invites you into their process when they in the studio and they really coming up with ideas. Some people do that in a private type way. I mean, think about it. We didn't think Kendrick was going to have the song of the summer for the whole world, but not like us. He definitely didn't invite us into the studio to, watch him work going live. He did that process in private, and when it hit, it just hit. Isaiah, you saying that she did that pose to do homage to Kim, but I'm telling you what Big Fendi said. Big Fendi said that he felt that that pose was so iconic and it was hot when Kim did it, that he figured that he could make her just as iconic as Kim. You got to know the character of Fendi and who he was back then. So the Kim issue should be with Fendi, not Nicki. Y'all can say that, but here's the thing. That person can tell you XYZ, it don't mean nothing until you do it. So if somebody come and whisper in my ear and they tell me to say the 7 cuss words that you shouldn't say on the internet, and then I turn around and say it, does it matter what they told me, or does it matter that I did it? Because at the end of the day, you're not going to look at the person who whispered in my ear. You're going to look at me and my actions. You said, I love me some Eve. You said, what about Trina? What about her, sweetheart? So is it not Nicki's fault that she kept the female rap alive? I never said that it was her fault or anybody's fault. All I just gave you was the history of everybody having legal troubles at that time. You had 3 of the top contending women at that time that were at the top of the charts, all literally legal troubles, in and out of jail, which took them out of the way. Nicki did what she was supposed to do. It was an open spot. She came in and took the spot. Now, we don't know how that spot would have been if everybody, had been on their job that year instead of in and out of jail. But if you see an open spot, you see an open seat, you sit in it, you take the spot. That's it, and that's all. That makes sense. So let me go ahead and tap in. Hold on. You said Big wrote Little Kim's lyric when he died. I'm trying to put that sentence together so that it makes a little bit more sense. So she lost herself and eventually fell off. Little Kim paved the way for females, but her time is past. I mean, that happens with any good person. You just got to know when to pass the mic. But see, at the end of the day, Kim still had one of the rawest performances in hip hop. That's what made her and Foxy so dominating at the time. Both of these little itty bitty chicks with all that energy, they had the whole five boroughs turned up. Says she did not fall off after Biggie. Um, all I could say is Kim was different when she came home from prison. The Naked Truth album was a damn good album, and that was well after Biggie. Matter of fact, she had what, 3 after Biggie that did pretty well. Says she's still a legend in Brooklyn, especially when you paved the way. Says she put out her best albums after Biggie. La Bella Mafia and Naked Truth. Naked Truth was definitely a good album. Um, that actually, to me, I felt like she was in her bag on that album. I just wish that whatever she went through didn't shift her perspective to the point to where it made it hard for her to create music when she got home. Because the Naked Truth, I could still listen to that right now. That was a damn good album. Well, even with Foxy, said if anything, you could say Foxy fell off. I think that, we got to consider that Foxy ended up with a health ailment that stopped her from rapping. So that's different than falling off. Like if you're having problems hearing, you're going to have problems with hearing the beat and, being able to deliver the way that you need to deliver because it's hard for you to hear. So I'm not going to just say Foxy fell off, life happened, health happened. But Foxy at her prime, before she had the ear situation, Foxy had one of the, she would come out like, top selling numbers every single time. A lot of people don't even know her and Kim's first album. Foxy outsold Kim, but Kim became critically acclaimed. Said, but they didn't have a relationship pre-beef. From what Kim said, she's cool and cordial. Okay, so Nicki Minaj introduced by the Southern fellas. Kim had no idea how things would turn around, so there's no prior friendship to heal. I could see that. Like I said, at the end of the day, you get the both of them to sit down. You're going to find out a lot of the conversation came from the men. That's the energy that I can tell you right off. It came from the men. The men did a lot of gossiping, and they did a lot to keep things separate and to make people on both sides feel insecure or uncomfortable. If they were to ever talk, I think they would figure that out. Said Kim and Foxy are both legends. To me, Foxy was a better lyricist in my opinion. But see, at that, people said that guys was writing for Foxy as well. So, we got to look at overall, like these chicks had a delivery that was sick. Like they could captivate you before you even see them wear something skimpy because they had that type of delivery. Let's see. Is Kim bitter? Is Kim bitter? Okay, so I do have heartbroken about situations from the past. What is she heartbroken about? Hold on. Okay, so this is interesting enough. King of Cups, we know that represents a water sign. That also means that at times Kim can also be in masculine energy herself, even though she's a water sign. So this is like the tough side of her where she doesn't let you see how she feels, but she feels very deeply. So this is why she's harsh with the cutoffs, because she does feel very deeply when she feels, for certain people in certain situations. I keep telling y'all, it's men between them. The King of Wands. And see, this is where Nikki and Kim clash right here. Both of them, no matter how beautiful, you dress them up, they both have masculine energy. So masculine energy is on go. But they're also both very sensitive. So they both are softies on the inside, but, real tough, on the core. But remember, like I said, this is two men in between them that caused the both of them a lot of damage. Water sign and a fire sign. Didn't I tell y'all this is men between them? Men that cause issues between them. Okay, so I see forward movement and expansion after a very hard time, up to like 10 years. Yeah, judgment is going to come upon some these men that are between them, and it's going to make it easier for these women to move around. So this was a message coming in. Now, I've been telling y'all, I believe from the beginning that these two have issues with men. Message came in that made her walk away from a relationship that caused heartbreak. Third party energy that falls right up under this King of Cups. And you've got the Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. So the offer was extended, but this looks like Kim turned down the offer. And believe it or not, y'all, if these two ever get a chance to talk, okay? It's going to be very interesting how the conversation is going to turn out once they get past the feelings. Because I promise y'all, you said that Kim, no, it didn't come from Nikki. I'm not saying that the message didn't come from Nikki. I'm saying that there was a third party that delivered a message that Nikki doesn't know was delivered. And I'm not talking about this current message from Dev Atney. That, if anything, that feels like more reason why Kim turned down the invitation, because she wanted to hear, if the message is going to come, she would want to hear from Nikki personally and not a middleman. So I do feel that the energy would have been different if it was Nikki on the phone personally versus Deb. But Deb sees what I see about the men and how they manipulated the situation. And it's like she wants them to talk so that they can finally get the truth out in the air. It's just the way that she went about it is going to look, non-favorable, because both parties are not going to be comfortable feeling like they're being middleman in some type of way. It's like there's a lot that's come out of this, a lot that's been said and done. It would have been best if it was direct from one person to the next. So can you do a reading on what Cardi B problem is with Nicki? Hold on. Something just went by real fast. Said Lil Kim told the Breakfast Club in other interviews that she felt used by Cash Money in them, paraphrased, and put in place to get NM style and career off the ground. And see, this is what I mean by the men in between them. Their problems come from the men. And it's not even that this was miscommunication, it's just people being calculated. And these people, building folks up on purpose so that they can manipulate certain energy. And then, when you got females, if you play on insecurities and both sides have a certain insecurity, like they just pretty much just played these ladies to the middle. Said, but remember on Drake's verse on Seeing Green, he quoted Kim. Kim sent a rose on IG in response, and I think she would be open if it came from Monica. That's exactly the energy that I got. That's exactly what I got. She didn't like the whole middleman aspect. Like if she want to talk to me, then tell her, get at me, meet me face to face, or we can have this conversation, FaceTime between me and her. No middleman. We just say what we need to say to each other. To her, that would have been more honorable. So I do understand why she turned this down, because what happens if you say, okay, well, if I can get y'all both to talk, and then you get her on the phone and she flip on me? I would rather she just say whatever she gonna say. This is the energy that I get. Said, what happened recently? Has Little Kim said something about Nicki or vice versa? Um, I haven't heard either one of them mention each other at all, actually. Said the men are always the issue when it comes to women. A lot of times, but this is what I'm seeing right here. Like these men played a very, very close position on both sides to where they played the middle. And I see that they played on insecurities, they played on, the beef angle, the gossip. If they remove the men, a lot of this could be handled just between the both of them. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so you said, who you mean, Little Kim or Little Wayne working on music, but don't think it was Wayne's name, Kim voice, and the dated interviews was B. And for those of y'all who don't know, Little Kim has even put out diss tracks on Wayne. She did a song with Uncle Murder called Warning. So that would be real interesting if they're doing anything right now. Said, well, here's the thing though. Y'all being selfish saying y'all don't want her to talk to her, because at the end of the day, it don't have nothing to do with none of us and what we want. It's up to them for whatever is best for both of them. And I just say that, why keep two people beefing if it's unnecessary? If they could really sit down and have a meeting of the minds, and this don't mean they got to hug each other and be all cute towards the end, just really come to a understanding. I think that's better for the both of them in the long run, because they get to purge a lot of negative energy and let go of the past. Now, they don't have to be bosom buddy, but if they could come to an understanding and they could see what I'm seeing right here, I think that would be beneficial to the both of them, because I really feel like they were both manipulated and played against each other. And then it finally got to a point to where too many people's hands were in the pot, so it was way harder to see everything that was going on directly. Yeah, so there's hurt on both sides. I agree. So if you're from New York, especially Brooklyn, in the 80s and 90s, it was common knowledge that Kim was a sweetheart. She and Inga, which is Foxy's real name, y'all, were even cool in the beginning of their meeting. Yes, and it was the same energy between them. It felt like there was a situation with the men where they played them against each other. Like there was even a statement made where Biggie allegedly told Kim that he would fire her from Junior Mafia and hire Foxy. And that low key could have started something between them. But they started off cool. And then it was like it took a turn and it never came back. Okay, so they're doing some festivals together, Wayne and Kim. So that means some interesting conversations are about to be had behind the scenes. You said, I hope they can make amends soon in the future. That would be amazing. I think so, because, I mean, we're looking at motherhood, shifts in careers. Both have been through some tremendous things. And believe it or not, they have similar enemies behind the scenes. They just got to come to an understanding. And once they come to that understanding, it's going to be wild when y'all see the end result. But that's if they're able to do that and have this conversation not from a hurt heart space, but being able to listen and articulate. It's kind of it's kind of hard to have two people that's sensitive and tough at the same time be able to yield so they can talk. But I think it would do them both really good if they were able to. Said Foxy wasn't as much of a fun girl. Um, I could see where you're going with that. Because unless you've seen Foxy turn up in videos, Foxy wasn't normally like the it girl in that way. Like she looked great in her videos, her print work, all of that. Her music was good for sure. Her music was really good. But when it came to the person that was always on the VIP list, the person that people wanted to see, especially, fashion designers and photographers, it was Kim. Said Nikki also had Kim's old manager, ARG Robinson, and that could be a third party energy as well. Interesting enough. You're absolutely right. Because when the circles get too close, somebody's talking. You best believe that. Said, yeah, Nikki said that she don't want that, especially since Deb wanted her to bring her out on tour. Nikki only deals with Foxy. Um, I understand what Deb wanted to accomplish, but I feel like for her to bring her out, they really need to have a deep sit down conversation to come to an understanding. And, if folks got to craft, the wig got to sit on the table, like they need to do what they got to do before they can make that kind of arrangement, because there's been so much harsh energy between the two that you just can't expect them to say, oh, I'm sorry, and then work together. Like that's got to be a very deep conversation. Said, I remember they had Kim and Nikki on Slumber Party together, and I loved it. I wish they had collab for real. I mean, it's the year of exposure, so this might come out. So Kim diss tracks seem to be in response. She doesn't seem to inflate beef. I can agree with that point. Hey, Angel the Babe, welcome, welcome. Said G is always in some shit. He is the reason for a lot of mess when it comes to female rap. Okay, so thank you for giving us that information, because I told y'all it is the men between them. If you can eliminate these men and the messy conversations and the gossip, these two could really come to a mend. Because I promise you, it's messy men all day long. Same thing that happened with Ice Spice, messy ass man. And if she hadn't listened to him, she would be on tour with Nicki. And now she's not getting no streams, and that album is not going to do as well. Said, let these women heal, please. I agree. Said, I'm sorry it was Freaky Girl with Nicki and Kim. Well, they also had a song, it was on Apple Music, but it was taken down. I think it was called Blowing Money Fast. But it was Kim, Birdman, and Nicki Minaj, like in the very beginning of Nicki's career. Kim was first, Birdman was second, Nicki had the last verse. You could still find the song on YouTube due to somebody else uploading it, but it was taken down from Young Money. Y'all said G Roberts is a clown. He's the reason why Nicki no longer deals with Ice Spice. I feel for Nicki. Okay, so this is the same damn manager. See what I mean about the man that always caused the mess? This, y'all, y'all just tied it up before I could even move on. Y'all tied it up and put a bow on it. These messy men between them, once they finally get to speak to each other and find out what's true, what's not true, what's a genuine dislike, what's not, I'm telling you, it's going to be a whole new understanding. So the joint Nicki and Kim album would go crazy. I think even if you could just get a song with like Nicki, Kim, and Foxy on the same song, it will break the internet just because of what it stands for. So it would be lovely if they can make it happen, but you know, it's one of those one can dream type moments. Say they have both endured this nasty industry and are now mothers. They can agree to disagree and move on. And see, that's all I'm saying. Like, they don't have to be the Yaya Sisterhood Club and hug each other and be hip hop sisters. They can just come to an understanding. And see, sometimes that's all you need is an understanding where, okay, I see you, you see me, hey girl, how you doing? But I don't come to your house on Thanksgiving and you don't come to mine on Christmas. Like, that's just a simple understanding. Said this was not a physical assault at Cardi. There's no reason for this to still be going on. And I believe that. Like, this didn't even get as deep as the Kim and Foxy situation where somebody actually got pow-powed and, you know, Kim went to prison. It's not that deep. Like, these two, if they can really kick back and see where all the lies and the manipulation came between the men that they were working with, it would really, really, really soften the situation. And like I said, you know, there's going to be things where you might still be like, well, I ain't feeling you on this. And that's to be understood, but you could still come to an understanding. I said years ago, Faith shared that she walked up to little Kim at an event to congratulate her on something, and Kim turned to something and said rhetorically, who's that? Cancers don't forget ish. But I think they have since mended fences. Yeah, they've even done music together. They've just decided that they've gotten to a point to where, you know, he's not here anymore. I loved him, you loved him, and that's our understanding. Same difference. They don't pull up to each other's, you know, situations. Ain't nobody making potato salad to go over to your cookout. It's nothing like that. They just come to a basic understanding. Yeah, said Birdman played her on the label. He said, yep, I watched it. And Kim said that about Biggie. Kim is the problem, but people can't seem to see that. Um, well, here's the thing. If you're going to say that, that's fine, but, elaborate a little bit so we can, go along the journey with you. Because I always like to understand the process behind the statement. Because you can't just make it seem like, Nikki is a walk through the roses. She a wild card, too. You got to give credit where it's due on both sides. Both of these chicks, they'll go hard bodies. So it ain't like it's just one-sided. But the biggest problem in between the both of these people that I see right here, right now, is they got to remove the energy from the men that the both of them work with, the comments that the men said, and deal with each other personally. If it's something that you personally don't like, that's fine. Nobody's saying you got to give up your personal dislike. But you need to make sure that the reason that you dislike somebody is actually for a valid reason, not because something that somebody told you to manipulate a situation to get a certain outcome. You said the same thing with Cardi when she was making Bodak Yellow. She was saying that someone came and told her something when she was on that balcony. See what I mean? It goes back to the gossip and the messy men, I promise y'all. Said Cardi broke down on the balcony and said that she really looked up to someone, but things was being said behind closed doors. Men do this so that women don't take over, but it's not working. And once the BS is deleted, the rap game will be changed even more. I agree. I agree. Um, and this is why women have to learn to be a little bit more analytical and not as emotional. Because when you're more analytical, you can, it's not even just that somebody said XYZ. You can actually process the information to the point to where you can think of, well, damn, why would this person even come and tell me that? Not just if this person said something, but why would you come and tell me that? What does it benefit you to let me know X, Y, and Z? If I fall out with this person, what am I missing out on? And also, how does this affect the bottom line for business? So when you get to looking at things overall, it's not saying that what's being said to you isn't true. It's just you need to be more careful about whatever the whole entire reason is that this person is sharing this with you, because they could have an angle, and their angle is to cause something to not happen or to fall apart because they feel some type of way towards somebody. Think about it. Ice Spice manager used to be Nicki and Little Kim manager. Was this manager fired by both these other ladies? So now your way of getting back at them is to use the next girl up, and then use that girl to, oh, well, I can make another you. Oh, well, she don't even like this, that, and the other. Just all this type of stuff to drive tension between people because you got a personal issue. Now, if Ice Spice had been a tad bit more analytical, she would have looked at the bigger picture business-wise. Would it have benefited her to go on her own tour and to say no to Nicki? In the long run, no. Especially when you came into the game telling everybody you're a barb. She didn't even think about the fact that this person has managed this person and this person. Well, okay, well, you used to manage Nicki. Well, let me go slide over here and talk to Nicki right quick to see what type of manager you were. And even with that, you take that as a 50-50 split. How do you know this person? What type of job does this person do for you? But I guarantee you, she feel bad now that she listened to him and she realizes on the back end that this man had ulterior motives. Said Wayne might get through to Kim and Nikki because the label played a big part of Kim's pain. I agree, Isaiah. And see, the only way that he can get through is to apologize for some of the stuff that he's done and own up to it. Because if he owns up to it, then that's also going to, you know, clear the air with certain things that's being said on both sides. Because I'm pretty sure Nikki heard something, Kim heard something, and both of them, like I said, they got played to the middle. You say, oh, it's clear. Thank you, whoever decided to finally take the chokehold after the camera. Said, I don't think it benefits Nikki at all to help Kim. Well, here's the thing. We ain't said shit about helping Kim. We just said they sit down and have a conversation. We ain't talking about doing no music. We ain't talking about, doing an album. We're talking about clearing the air between the both of them, because after all this time, it would just feel good to lift that energy up off of you. It's heavy like a burden to carry around, you know, beef and things of that nature. It's like you get to a certain age, you get to a certain point in your life. If it's something that you can get rid of, you lighten the load. You saying Nikki would be doing charity work, but here's the thing. Y'all look at it as a way of social media. These two can talk behind the scenes and we don't need to know nothing of it until they decide to speak on it. We've gotten too comfortable with thinking everything got to happen on these iPhones and on social media. True conversations don't need to have side parties watching. It needs the people involved to be able to respect each other and process the information. So hopefully they'll have a neutral moderator if they ever decide to do so. I elect Miss Jones, someone from their era. That would be interesting. So whoever was in Kim's ear didn't help her, and she trusted Diddy, but Diddy faked her. Oh, Diddy failed her woefully. Um, Diddy showed her what he was about when she went to prison, and he kind of just threw his hands up. But see, y'all also got to realize Diddy also managed Nicki, and then when Nicki cut him from her management, she didn't have management, I want to say, for possibly like 3.5 years. So once again, here's another man playing the middle. We don't know what this man has said to both these women yet again. Every time you look at the timeline of them not getting along, I guarantee you there's a man attached to it. Said Botch B is getting sued. Well, she's been getting sued a lot. They just don't talk about it. Said that's not what Jaguar Wright said of Foxy. Behind the scenes gossip. Fox Boogie in Philly. Well, that's a whole rabbit hole we get off into what Jaguar said, right? I thought it was just me. Said she is, but because people don't like Nikki, they blame Nikki. Probably to a certain extent, but some people will never work out anyways. That's the reality of life. I agree. Said Foxy was developing a bad reputation in the media and she was lashing out on people. She definitely couldn't be trusted with cell phones because her and what's that model? I'm trying to think. Naomi Campbell. They was good for hitting people with cell phones in the late 90s, early 2000s. Yep, you said G. Robinson manages ICE now. So the relationship with Wayne, Nicki, and Drake is not the same in my opinion. It hasn't been the same in years. Fashion designer Isaac Mizrahi reportedly said some very unflattering things about Foxy in his loaned clothes. It may be on the internet still, that article. Wow. Foxy got into it with a lot of people. She even, um, if I'm not mistaken, didn't she get arrested for some extensions, like some hair weave? Had the girl do her hair and ran out and didn't pay? Said yes, many fashion designers of the 90s spoke highly of Little Kim, again in her sweetness. Yeah, Kim was the it girl when it came to fashion, especially like print work and magazines. Oh Lord, said yes, sued for copyright on her current songs. Which songs? Because she's been sued for copyright on music ever since, I want to say, I have to say allegedly, I heard that there was a copyright suit against her for WAP. Once again, allegedly. Said Nicki always said that she didn't want to bring Kim out. She just wants it to be nothing. They live their own lives, no beef. I mean, whatever they decide to do, I think is cool. It just it didn't feel genuine with Deb being in the middle. Even though Deb had great intentions, both of these two women would genuinely only sit down if the other one openly wanted to talk. And then the moon would still have to be in the right damn alignment. The stars would have to twinkle a certain way. Like it's things that have to be in line. Yeah, you said you wish you could post gifts. That would be nice. I said switch topic to the signal coming in strong. Hilarious. So yes, Angel agreed the beef is real deep. He said thank you for clearing up your thoughts on Kim. I mean, like I said, no, neither one of these women are angels. I mean, you know, they've said and done things to each other. Hold on, pardon me. They've said and done things to each other through the years, but I really do see the energy of meddlesome men. And a lot of this, you know, even with Kim and Foxy, it still comes down to it was issues going on with the men and men playing on the insecurities and rumors going back and forth. Like now that they're older, they can look at things through a different lens and process things in a whole nother way. Y'all are funny. Said Nicki was shown bowing to Lauryn Hill. That's a big honor. Very hard for a Sag with a Virgo moon. Oh Lord, she got a Virgo moon, so yeah, she can be stubborn. Such private, let alone with the camera rolling. Yeah, that says a lot. So hell, all the rap women need to sit down and talk. Um, I agree. But see, a lot of these girls nowadays, they're orchestrating beef because it gets them in the algorithm and helps them to sell. I mean, perfect example, if you look at Lotto and you look at Ice, that is one of the stupidest beefs you will ever hear. Like, who drops a diss track talking about, you know, you not even the fart and talking about poopy diapers? Like, this is the dumbest back and forth I've heard in a very long time. Did y'all ever hear $1 Million Baby with Nicki, Max B, and Naka? I don't think I have, but I can definitely look it up. So, do y'all watch Deb's House, Miss Deb Atney's new show? Um, I haven't watched it. I have to catch up on it. So far, it's holding my attention. It said, I like Dank and Honey, still watch. I'm still love them all. Well, y'all, let's look at this from another angle, because I feel like these ladies are smart enough as well to, be able to do things in a statement type of way. So let's read the energy as what if. What if they decide to actually bridge the gap? All right, let's see. What if? Pardon me if that's loud station head. My apologies. Switching up decks. So, yeah, he said Botch being Nikki's beef is physical. Kenny was threatened by off cheat. I agree. Jackie O is a preacher now, and she don't have time for Kaya. Right. I don't know what I missed for y'all to get there, but yeah, Jackie O changed her life. She don't even associate with the old music or any of this stuff anymore. But if Jackie O was still in that old bag, that would definitely be an interesting drag on both ends. You said, what happened? Wonder what happened to Emile, Jay-Z's former artist. She said she didn't want it anymore, and she just started slacking. But Jay was very cocky with how he dropped her. He even put a line in the song, was like, had to drop a mill. So I feel like there's more going on with that. And when she did that song, The Quarrels, that affected her and what's his name? What's the singer name? The one that did I Wish I Never Met Her. I can't think of his name right now, but that affected both of their careers big time. Said Bosh is ghetto. Why would she throw a shoe? Just foolishness, and got beat up. Damn. Said I was just asking where's Jackie O been. Yeah, Jackie O went. She's been a church lady for years now. You said it's 8 o'clock where you at. Why is it so early? Yes, Carl Thomas. That's his name. Thank you, ladies. Carl Thomas did the chorus for The Quarrels, and it seemed like after they did that song, it negatively affected both of their careers. Um, the song was about, the powers that be and when they run out of time. So let's look at the energy around. If there is a Nikki and Kim truce, what would it look like? Allegedly. So, yeah, both of these women, believe it or not, it's a lot of watery emotions and intuitive energy. They're not in the same place that they used to be. So Iggy had to drop some music. Charlie Baltimore was dope too. I realized Iggy has her flow. Ming is with Smiley from the Bad Girls Club. That's interesting because I saw her doing something where she was recording an episode or something with Ray J on Tronics. Okay, so this represents being ostracized. Okay, 5 of Pentacles. Choices that were made, the Lovers. To be honest, both of these women have a heralding story, because strength is like fighting through all adversity. Yeah. You got the Knight of Cups here, which is an offer that came through that was supposed to bring hope, the Star. It comes out even in this reading. Heartbreak came, decided to walk away from the offer. Which ends up being a Tower to an already slow-moving, arduous situation. Oh, somebody's showing me love hands. Thank you. You got 10 of Cups and 7 of Pentacles. So it's like, at this point, you know, Queen of Cups, which also represents water sign. You know, it's like she wants to focus on, you know, her family and whatever options she has that brings stability. That's also stubbornness too. Y'all. There's something very interesting going on here behind the scenes. Wheel of Fortune and High Priestess falling under the 5 of Pentacles, which would represent, you know, like I said, being ostracized, out in the cold in a situation, something that feels broken. So she does see this as something that would be good for the culture. This goes back to what I said, the independent woman. This would have came off better if the choice was made by the independent woman, which was Nikki. And this is why it triggered her and made her feel some type of way, because she didn't feel like this was something that should have came through a third party. So it's the same message. Damn, you said Charlie was effing with, hold on. Charlie was effing with Biggie, Jay, and Pun. Damn. Good thing we ain't have social media back then. Interesting you brought that up. Said Nikki's the most awarded female without a Grammy. She said that she's not getting one because she doesn't go to those industry parties. Y'all, let me tell y'all something about how the industry is about to play in everybody's face. The very person that they wanted to deactivate and get rid of, don't be surprised if they finally go ahead and reward her with a Lifetime Achievement Award as a way of them saying, oh, we see everything you doing, so we gonna ride the wave, but here you go on the way out the door. Don't be surprised if they pull that. Y'all see what BET just did. Said, I think Nikki's not getting a Grammy because of Miley, not Kim. Yeah. Absolutely. Allegedly. Nikki made it right with Miley, so I think they will give Nikki one now because they have been getting backlash. You see how they were listed in the winners for the best rap song, but after exposing Rock Nation, they changed the winner last minute and even forgot to correct it on the website and social media. Sounds like the Grammys all over again. So yeah, it was definitely Miley. They wanted her on top and she came for her and they didn't like that. Yeah. Yeah, man. This was a big deal. You got to realize who Miley's people are. Her godmother is the godmother of country music. Her father is a gatekeeper. just off of nepotism, she's in a position where you can't poke the bear. There's a lot of powerful people that sit behind Miley. Yeah, I did do a reading on that a while ago. Hey, Kay Holiday, my day is going well. Thank you. Many blessings to you. Said the Cyrus are knee deep behind the scenes in the Grammy as well. Right. These are the people that are also like you just said, the Grammy Commission and the Country Music Awards. Like these are the people who hold the access to get in and out. You said she has a Lifetime Achievement Award already in 2022. Not from the Grammys though. That's what I'm telling you. The Grammys can do just like the other award shows and say, oh, okay, well, at this point, it's too obvious if we don't give it to her, but we'll give her a Grammy for a Lifetime Achievement Award all the way on the way out the door. Like, and make a huge, big deal out of it and do a whole performance in her honor, all for them to say, get out. Said Nikki is above the Grammys and she knows that. She has 445 awards. Wow. You know what though? It's not even about being above the Grammys. Here's the thing. Grammys don't guarantee talent. They don't guarantee money. A lot of times when people win Grammys and Oscars, it actually, ends up being a bane to their existence. Henny got 3 Grammys. Look at what just happened with that album. Nicki has no Grammys. Look at what just happened with her current album and her old music that's trending again. Said her father has so much power, but Miley only got her first Grammy this year. Listen, I'm telling you who her people are. What product did she put out the prior years that was able to get her a Grammy? They didn't want her on rap and hip hop. She wasn't going to get one for that Bangers album. That's not what they wanted her to do. They wanted her to carry on the country music family staple. It's a family business at this point. Angel, you said that more than once about the Grammys. I think Nicki will retire soon, and after she do her 5th album, I think this is why she's making history so that she can retire with a legacy. I think it's smart because not only is she going out her way, she's going out with the bang that nobody can take from her, period. And because she created this, this whole production, because her show is a hell of a production. She created this. She didn't have other parties come in and sponsor this where they had control. This was all her vision. This is going to live on as the standard of where everybody wants to ascend to, where everybody wants to go with their career. So a legacy for sure. She's definitely etched that in stone. You said Nicki already has a Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm telling y'all, watch how they about to play this on her way out the door. We're talking about the Grammys. The Grammys has iced her out her whole career. They're going to, treat it like it's the 4th of July show. Like, if you stay somewhere where it's a riverfront and the whole riverfront is fireworks for the holidays, that's what they're going to do as they show her the door. Because that's their way of saying, your time is up, you're done. Y'all got to understand how these people think. It's not about does she deserve it. It's not about did she earn it. She's earned it and she's deserved it time and time again. That's neither here nor there. You got people getting nominated and don't nobody even know their damn music. I don't know if y'all know, but they got Grammy packages and, BET packages, all these different packages for different labels. If you're a label artist, where they can pay a certain amount to even get you nominated, knowing you're not going to win, but nominated sounds good on your resume, it makes you more money. They've been doing that for decades. You didn't miss anything, sweetie. Said do the same with my fave, April the Weekend. Yes, and Miley did a Tina Turner tribute and killed it. I would have to see that. It's not something that I would put together, but I would be objective and watch it. It's I don't think if I hear Tina Turner that I would hear Miley. Not to say that she couldn't have done a good performance, it just doesn't line up, as far as her vocal register and how she performs. I don't it don't even sound right coming off my tongue. So I'm gonna check it out though. So Henny's album said the internet on mute challenge. Listen, I want y'all to pay attention to the way that they talking about it. Like, my TV stays on YouTube. I can't tell y'all two, possibly three creators that have done a vlog on this album. That says a whole lot to me. I watched one do a vlog where he reviewed the whole entire album as its entirety. He said that he only liked six, no more than seven of the songs, as far as would he listen to them and are they decent. He said the rest of the album was a chop and it felt rushed. Um, I can't see where what he said wasn't an honest assessment. I mean, for me, I felt like those moody, depressing songs shouldn't have been at the end of the album. Like, you should have ended the album, on a upbeat type of vibe. But the last 3 to 4 songs on the album, it's like the low self-esteem, and I don't really like myself, and I don't know why you like me, and I'm depressed. Like, it's like the vibe just got darker and darker those last few songs on the album. And I can't speak for nobody else. I ain't gonna never listen to that again. Megan has had good music in the past, especially her early music, like the Tina Snow music, the Make It Hot, even some of the stuff from Fever. But this, no ma'am. I felt like I needed sage, holy water, and a shot of whiskey after that album was done. It was just, I couldn't do it. Let's see, what does it say? Hey, Terica, sweetie, how are you? Said they wanted her out so bad because they cannot get a hold on her. She'll stop when she's ready, and they hate that. And that's the way it should be. It should be when she's ready. I'm talking about Nikki. Nikki should retire when she's ready. She shouldn't be put out to pasture. And I feel that for anybody. If your career is still doing well and is viable, ride it out until you're ready to stop. Said, I'm leaving the link for $1 Million Baby Angel. Thank you. I'm going to check that out. Said the Barbs are not going to support anyone that disrespects Nikki even after Nikki leaves. Well, I mean, it's going to be very interesting the way that everything kind of rides out, because when I looked at the Rihanna thing, when she was singing the new Glorilla song, first thing I thought was Glorilla is bringing, Rihanna to her, which brings the Navy. So here it is. Rihanna's telling her fan base to follow Glow. You know, I follow her, so it's cool to follow her. So when Rihanna bows out gracefully and decides she don't want to do any music anymore, she literally is handing over her fan base to Glow. I thought that was very interesting. So ain't no one talking about that damn album, but damn black nerds. Baby, I can't find enough of the nerds to say that I'm really seeing it in the algorithm. I watch people break down music all the time. Like, I love music commentary. Um, it's like somebody passed around an email and said, y'all, we're not going to talk about this week. That's what it feels like. Like, everybody has a solid understanding that they just going to move along. Said Meg knows it's quiet for her ass. Meg is not an anime fan, and I will die on that hill. I'm not gonna say she's not an anime fan, because that she has been tapping into for a few years. I don't think anime is gonna save her. I don't think the Japanese influence is gonna open markets to her. If anything, it's going to make her seem a little cheesy to them. It's not going to give the effect of Wu-Tang Clan and, you know, the Asian movie culture. It's not going to do that. Actually, the two songs that were inspired by her time in Japan with the Japanese rapper, they did not go over well. Those are some of the worst songs on the album, to be honest. Like, once you got past the chorus of the Japanese to English song, it falls apart real hard, because it's hard for the Japanese artist to ride the beat. It just it didn't go well. Says so on the interview, when she said Cardi is her girl, she did not sound genuine. Y'all, I've been telling y'all something is brewing under the damn table with them two, and it has been for a while. Say they cannot hold that woman. So Nicki has proven the Grammys are worthless. She is the most successful awarded artist without one. She has devalued their worth. Um, I will say this for sure. She proved that the Grammys are not an end all be all to a career at all. And there's a lot of artists that are dope that don't have a Grammy, and they're like etched in history, like top 5 or top 10. So the Grammys, if anything, they cheapen their own history, um, with some of these decisions they made the last couple years. The Grammys, as they said this year, the scammies. The scammies is a joke. So Angel, we need Tory and Henny album. So we need Tory and Henny album flop, tap in. I had to make sure that wasn't running all together. Like, don't nobody need a Tory and Henny album. So anyway, stream Pink Friday too. Y'all are funny. I was about to say, ain't nobody that could say this damn album. That album she put together, no ma'am. You replay that one, you feel depressed. I don't want to listen to that album. The first time was one time too many. So she told Shannon she recorded on tour. It sounded like she got in the bathroom and done some of these damn songs. She should have waited till she got off a tour and did a few more songs. Like, I remember, like, artists used to record anywhere from 100 to 200 songs and then pick the best ones out of those. You can tell that she didn't record a plethora of music to choose from. She gotta really stop listening to the people she hang out with, because they lied to her just because they on payroll. Said, I didn't hear when Henny and Cardi asked to get on the song. Does anyone know the timestamp of the interview on Club Shay Shay? Um, I don't know the timestamp. I will say it's one of his shorter interviews because it was like maybe an hour and a half. Because when I tapped into it, they had the live going and I had to come back and finish it because I had a personal client. So I had to rewatch it to make sure I wasn't missing key parts. And I will say that there was a lot of things that he asked her. I promise y'all, when you come back 6 months from now, you're going to look back on this interview and this is going to be worse than Gayle King. Because remember, she has this whole issue with Emilio Cucci, and she said she didn't live here and she don't live there and she's in Florida. And she just said on this interview that she bought a house. So really, did you bought a house where? Where is the house? Because y'all been sitting up here trying to hide where she lives so that y'all can move this case. Yep, you said Emil and Carl Thomas. Yep. Said Diane, that Emil song is deep. I looked it up a few minutes ago. Yeah, that she got dropped after that song, y'all. So if you get a chance and you listen to the Quarrels, that's the song that people feel got Emil dropped. Said not necessary. That's just a moment. Glorilla needs to curate her own fans. The Navy will not deflect to Glorilla because Rihanna posted her song. I will tell you this. The Navy will become kinder to her and it will add to her streams. And if Rihanna decides to do a song with Glorilla somewhere down the line, she's going to be locked in with the Navy. So while Rihanna supporting Glow in that way is something else. Yeah, when I saw that, I had to think of two things. We've heard that she don't really mess with Megan, but Glow has done music before Megan, with Megan, and after Megan. So I found it interesting that she picked this song to jump on and perform with A$AP Rocky. I thought that was very interesting. Said I don't really believe Henny did 65 to 75K first week either. They lie so much. I could tap in and see what the cards say. Said they think Nikki's leaving means we are going to start following the new girls. Well, they hope. Said she's not an anime fan, Angel. I promise you that. Said right and they thought wrong. Said they trying so hard to push that Asian song with the Asian artists over there on TikTok. That song is trash. I don't care what language you perform that song in, it's trash. And I'm somebody that listens to hip hop around the world and might not know nothing about what the people are saying, but if they can ride that beat and they got a cold cadence, I'm gonna listen till I figure out what the hell they saying. There was no cadence between the both of them that matched. They didn't compliment each other in any type of way. They literally, it was like a car accident on wax. That song should have been scrapped. So the Barb and the Navy are cool with each other. We just don't mess with the drunken. Says Sweetie wore the hell out of that Hyperland and supported my friend with his clothes. Wow. So Henny said that Botched has been so quiet around her too. I don't blame Botched. I would be suspicious too around her. Baby, if you know, then you know, because it gets dicey. So Henny spent more time on Glorilla than Botched on the interview with Shay Shay. Yeah, she talked about how that was her sister. She referred to her as family. She sure did. Because I remember he asked her if she had any siblings, and she had sisters and brothers, and she kept saying she was the only child. None of the rap girls posted or supported Drunken Horse album. Did y'all notice that? Um, I've been busy the last few days, so I'll be honest with you. I haven't noticed it, but I'll be honest. I haven't noticed anyone just on the regular saying anything about the album. I don't see the blogs giving too much press to the album. Like I want to say, like the day after it came out, there was like Baller Alert and like one other blog. They were asking people how they felt, and I understand, she's got a fan base or whatnot, but I also understand when I see bot comments, and the bot comments can like all of your stuff, but they're very structured. They're almost sugary with the comments when they give you compliments. And I'm like, this feels a little off, because even her own fan base said that she missed the mark with this album. Of course, there are going to be the diehards that are just going to ride, this album right to the hip hop cemetery. But for the most part, her own fans, a lot of them did not overall like this album. What'd you say? Hey, Angel, I'm late. Hey, honey, how are you? Said Tory has a new motion, or is this regarding the last motion being granted? This is regarding the last motion being granted. That's where this live started. I was telling everybody that we're not out of the woods yet, but this is a huge milestone for Tory, because they can show where the judge and the prosecutor had implicit bias. So they said that they want to show that they possibly discriminated against him, and it could have been racially charged. But discrimination is not limited to being racially profiled. It can come down to implicit bias, to where people pulled strings, and you could show where things came into fruition due to outside interference, so to speak. Says she don't live in Florida. She never did. See what I mean? She said that she bought a house. They're going to want to know, where did you buy this house? Now, the investigators, this was a terrible decision, y'all, for her to do this interview right now, because there's too much legally on the line. Said my ears are still hurting from that NE album. Damn it, Alicia. Said I just hope Glow doesn't let Henny steal her shine and ride her wave. It started to feel like that on this tour, to be honest with you. She do have some decent songs on the album, but you can definitely tell she regressed. It was the organization of the album, the placement of the songs. Everything felt scattered and all over the place. There was no real direction to this album. You couldn't tell, if she started off with the snake theme, okay. The only thing that tied it in was like, you start the album off early with Rattle, you end with Cobra. But for the most part, the theme of the album that we thought, remember it was named Slither, and then they changed it. Even the snake theme is not cohesive. So none of this project felt like it gelled together. It was just a lot being thrown together. So people are busy talking about Not Like Us until now, then the album. They're talking about everything but that album. Said write or do an extended album after the tour. I think she purposely did not put this album out while she was touring, because she knew some of this music just did not match her tour. It didn't match the vibe of her tour. If she, if she performed this music, people would probably be lost. Like, this was not the type of album that you could tour on. This album felt like it felt drowsy, it felt depressing, and even the upbeat songs, the choruses, a lot of the choruses fell flat. Says she's one of those girls that lie without thinking about it, the complexities of the lie. Well, she definitely answered some questions on Shannon's show that I think are going to backfire on her big time. That's why I said, y'all, the next 3 to 6 months, you're going to look back on this interview and say, oh, wow, I didn't think about that when she said it, or I didn't think about this, and now this, and, coming to fruition. Said hello from Alaska. Hey. Said her album magically jumped 50% on Sunday, and I said, abracadabra. Listen, what that sounds like is a marketing package to me. You invest a certain amount, it boosts the streams, and then you can write that off at the end of the year for networking and promotion expenses. So the way Nikki just goes so hard, effortlessly on those mixtapes just hypes me up. I be in the house going crazy. You funny. Said, I think her Club Shay Shay interview was done the same day as her album release party. She had the same helmet wig on. I don't know if it was done the same day. I think it may have been done the next day. That's what I meant to say. It may have been done the next day. And the reason why I say that is that the wig it was better executed the night of the album premiere. That hair gave me after the morning after. Like, it hadn't been touched up in the spots that it needed to be, with the band around it to make sure it's smooth here, and you put the mousse in. It looked like it lifted, because it looked like it felt bulky right here. Not women who have menopause said what the hell when they tried to listen to Megan's album. I'm done. I don't think it had to do with menopause. I think that 95% of people who had ears said what the hell when they listened to that album. So the drunken horse definitely said Botch kept asking her to get on the album. Interesting. Wow. Now here's what's funny that some of y'all don't know. Cardi was supposed to be on Megan's album on the original track list. She miraculously kind of tiptoed off the album after that allegation was made about, the alleged dirty Mexican comment. So when you see the Slither track list and you see the Megan track list, that was one of the retractions. Cardi was supposed to be on that album, so was Carisha. They both were wiped from the album. There was also supposed to be a R. Kelly sample, and that was wiped from the album. So I thought that was interesting that she even brought that up when they took the song off the album. Like, why did you take it off? Did it not clear? Did something happen with the payment? Like, what happened? Because it was on the original track list. Said exactly, the streams never increased on Sunday, especially not by 50%. Spotify clocked it and have been filtering them out. So that means when Spotify and YouTube start doing their numbers, they're going to let them know how many bots were used, because they're removing bots from views, which means it ain't even worth the money spent. They'll let you get those bots. They will. They'll let you use them to spike up everything, and then when you get paid, you don't get paid for the number with the bots. You get paid for the actual number of people that were in the engagement. Said it's just anime nerds that want to correct her pronunciation of Japanese words in her song when the guy she featured on it corrected her and approved it already. Oh, Lord. Well, see, his enunciation of the American language is what kind of threw this off. And it's not to say that he's not good at what he does, but that's just like if I don't speak Japanese, you don't speak Japanese, and somebody wants you to rap in Japanese, it's not going to be easy because you don't normally talk in Japanese, so you don't understand the word placements and how words are supposed to flow in that language and in that culture. So I think that's what it was with him switching over to American, you know, westernized English, because it's different. English is different in this country versus England and other English speaking countries. It threw him. He was not prepared to enunciate that way. And I don't think that they worked on it long enough for him to become, smooth in his delivery. They probably only had a couple of cuts and was like, okay, this is the best one, forget it. That's part of why it flopped, because it just it didn't congeal properly. Says she doesn't own a home she rented from Tiana Taylor and never paid for destroying that lady's house. Well, that was in California. This is wherever she is now is in Florida. So that's why I said I find it very interesting that she said that she bought a house, because they're going to look that up. The legal teams are going to look it up and be like, okay, bought a house where? We need to find out. Hey, Eugene said, can you tap into Jocelyn Nungare? I don't know if you're familiar with her case, but she's a 12-year-old girl who passed away because of two creepy men. I'm not familiar with her case, and when it comes to cold cases, it takes a different energy where I have to kind of fall back and zone out. So I don't think it would be appropriate for me to do that right now, especially not this type of live, because of the subject matter. Because when I do cold cases, I go very, very deep, and it can be disturbing. You know, not that I won't look into this and possibly do a sit-down reading on it, but I've done cold cases before, and I can pull some very interesting details that may not be YouTube friendly. Said Megan is going to retire soon from music. What is her next move? Let's be honest. Is it going to be necessarily retiring, or is it going to be ousted? Because those are two different things. When you retire, you prepare for an exit. When you're ousted, you just got to roll with the punches. Said, I'm so glad that Glow is doing good. Said, I thought it was interesting that during the interview, Henny said that if you thought she was crazy now, you should have seen her before. Yeah, I paid attention to that when she said that her at 18 was pretty much was hell on wheels. I remember her saying that she's calm now. She was off the chain back then. I I took a mental note on that. It's like, oh, you were worse? Do tell. Then pay attention. Shannon made her admit to being a control freak. Said it's literally crickets, and when I search on Twitter, it's old videos from the start of her tour, not really anything too recent. Wow. Said I live in the city, everybody mess with Glow. Okay, said Megan wanted an Asian version of Crippy Kush like Nicki did with Farruko and Bad Bunny, and it didn't work. Okay, so I'm gonna have to check that out to see how that worked out, because I'm personally not familiar with that song. All I know is this one that she did. This did not this did not work. No ma'am, no sir. Glow definitely has some good jams. Really proud of her. That's the winner of this tour. Glow came out amazing. Like even when they said the tour ended, Glow dropped in another video. So Angel, I didn't understand why Meg didn't do an album pertaining to college life. Um, that's an interesting question. I would think when her music, when she hadn't graduated yet, like I said, the Make It Hot, the Tina Snow, the uh, all the early albums, like the early LPs, the mixtapes rather, the EPs and the mixtapes. She hadn't graduated from college yet. It's very interesting that she never tied in the college party vibe to her music when this was a huge, part of her, I want to say, discovery story. When you hear about her being in the ciphers and rapping with the guys, this was all during the time she was in college. So thank you for that, Teresa E. That is very intriguing. So I want to become an extra. I want to become an extra bot for fun one night and outbot the bots. But it would be a waste of good lives and probably get blocked. Did someone say drunken horse? You are hilarious. Hey. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, she did not expect for things to turn around the way it did. And this album, for her to say that she recorded this while she was on the road, it makes perfect sense because this is not something that she sat down and took her time to create. It feels very rushed, like she had a timeline and she missed that deadline and was like, how you sit up there trying to copy off of somebody's paper before you got to turn in something. That's what this feels like. She just hurried up and scribbled down some answers, right, wrong, or indifferent. I didn't leave anything blank. Let me turn it in. That's how this album came off. So Henny said she never felt so safe with Cop Nation. It's going to be hilarious when they drop her. Baby, she must not know the story of what happened with Tierra Marie, because Tierra made a phone call and her phone did not finish that call. They blocked her. It was no calling back. It was no nothing. So what caused Ray J and Lemmy to fight at the BET Awards? Um, let me tap in. Let me find out. I'll tell you one thing though. Ever since Stunner Girl made that accusation about Wendy Williams, Ray been seeming like he been running off the rails. Let's see, what caused this issue between Lemon Pepper and Ray J outside of Glorilla's party? Y'all see this? The lovers and the two of cups. A choice made over a lover. But it's always had to do with men. Y'all, it's a lot of gossiping back and forth with these men. Knight of Swords falls after the lovers and the Four of Wands. So this feels like some things got said that affects people's stability and their marriage. Okay? So bloggers has been on Ray J butt about Wendy and Whitney. This Lemmy Ray reading is a mess already. Baby, listen. When I'm telling you, somebody rushed in swiftly. Like there's a lot of gossiping, a lot of networking going back and forth between these men. But something was said that affects someone's stability. This affects business. This affects, marriage, life overall. And remember I told y'all, Ray J has been kind of rocky lately since those accusations came out. Nine of Swords. This represents no rest for the weary, no rest for the wicked. He's really touched, guys, about something behind the scenes. This is high anxiety about an unrequited offer, Four of Cups. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to what Ray said. Okay? So, Five of Swords. This leads up to the fight. So, this is showing me that Ray had anxiety before anything happened. A choice that was made to run in and say something to Lemmy, which started the fight in the first place, had to do with some type of energy that had to do with the choice between, I mean, it goes back to the women. Matter of fact, it definitely does. It goes back to the women. And it's like, after this fight, this is what throws me, because the Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck is someone who feels very sorrowful, someone who's apologetic. Y'all, you see this? For whoever's watching me, Two of Swords that comes out in the upright and the death at the bottom of the deck. This was going to get far out of hand, y'all. This was going to get extremely out of hand. This was going to get upper room out of hand. Hey, Millie the Mystic. Baby, whenever you come in is the right time for you. Don't worry about being late. Yeah, so this energy with Ray J, y'all, he really is going through some type of really heavy anxiety. And he had anxiety before they got into this fight. Because, listen, Two of Swords to the Death card at the bottom of the deck, that sounds like curtains energy, okay? This feels like curtains. Final curtain call for somebody. Now, this is what's even weirder. Somebody wanted to apologize about juggling, playing both sides. Say, yeah, him and his sister not even talking right now, and they are really close. That last message that he put out, that cryptic message where he talked about not taking the dirty money anymore, that is where I feel like people should pay closer attention, because taking dirty money from who? What do you mean you're not going to take this money anymore and you're going to set the record straight? And why would you be apologizing to Brandy? What could you possibly tell us that you got to say sorry to your sister? So Angel Meg left the EBT Awards early. Was it because of the subject? The fathers, what Usher talked about? Oh, see, I didn't even watch the BET Awards. I only saw snippets. So interesting. So I know when he threw that drink, Ray went and got the bag out of the ride, and he was about to pow lemon pepper. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, this felt like the upper room curtain call. Said lemon pepper wings do sound amazing. Y'all, y'all are hilarious. Yeah, this, the back end of it, y'all, is crazy. My throat just got scratchy out of nowhere. Like, it feels like he's sorry from playing both sides of the fence somehow, because you got this Two of Pentacles over the Page of Cups. He no longer wants to play both sides. And I think this has to do with that dirty money that he said he's no longer going to take. He's no longer going to accept. He's going to set the record straight. Said, I know he's working on a show to showcase his niece, Brandy's daughter, and Nikki's sister, Ming, for his network. So that's what Ming was over there for. Okay, got it. Ray said dirty money equal Diddy. Well, see, Diddy even got dirty money from, speaking of Big Fendi, that's where he got dirty money from. See how this keeps going in a circle? How all these people closer than you think? He got clearance to use dirty money from Big Fendi. Hold on, let's there we go. Because I done seen you one too many times. You got to go. I'm not saying the same thing over. We're not about to let you spam us. Hey, Cat Eyes, sweetie. How are you? Yeah, so, yeah, Ray J's mental state right now is definitely not the best. He really is going through something. This is not about publicity. It's not. Said the subject about the fathers being with their children and loving your children. Ooh, and I don't know if y'all can hear that. My candle is popping. Said, so the industry is so scary, and I actually wanted to work in it behind the scenes. I think I'm a pass. It's scary. If you decide to do so, stay independent. Stay independent. It's the best way to control the weather around you. Can we also tap into Jocelyn Hernandez and the accusations of her SAing her employees that star on her show Yummy P? Oh, Lord. See, you can't help but to end up in the gutter. You get to talking about Zeus. Zeus, it takes you there every time. Said, oh, wow, she started feeling guilty, huh? She's really a nasty person. Hey, Bostress, honey, how are you? Say, hey, Goddess Angel Memphis. Hey, tapping in from Tennessee. You said it. Said, I guess so. Millie talked about Meg left early, but she didn't know why, I think. See, I didn't watch, so I didn't know that she left early. Yeah, so they did Tierra bad. They chose Rihanna. Yeah, it wasn't even that they chose Rihanna. It's the way that they offered Tierra the door. Like, when Tierra was cut off from everything. Like, she was shelved, you might as well say indefinitely, because nobody would work with her. So I'm surprised Cardi didn't even go to the show. With a new album coming out. Ain't that interesting? So here's the Sun. The Sun exposed a choice, a decision. This falls under lovers. What is this with this Ray J lemon pepper energy? Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. Didn't I tell y'all that information has come to Ray J, okay? And I don't know if this is a water sign woman or a very intuitive woman, but Eight of Pentacles represents someone you work with or someone that Lemmy may have worked with. There is conversations about things that are unrequited that was shared with Ray J. And whatever this is, Ray J is drawing a hard line, because it's like once he started hearing these stories, y'all, believe it or not, once he started hearing these stories, he ended up in these Nine of Wands where he had high anxiety, had problems sleeping. There is some deep mess going on here. And whatever this is that gave him anxiety is what's fueling him to fight and to cut off these people and this energy. And he's deciding not to play both sides anymore in the industry. And he's deeply sorry, deeply moved about something that's happened. Said OMG Kaisa not too, just caught on for a while on stream. Said the illegal activities move through the music industry. All games have hands in it. This is how you wash dirty money and make money also. Allegedly. Said firecrackers went off. Sorry for the typos. Are you good? Yeah, so whatever this is that these women shared with Ray J about their experience, yeah, this man is really hung up deeply, okay? Really hung up deeply. Ace of Pentacles under Nine of Swords. This is almost like he knows that if he makes this choice, he's going to have to walk away from the money. And this is literally like he's going to have to exit a toxic situation to get into calmer waters. This, y'all believe it or not, he may be thinking to say goodbye to Hollywood. It's like he's finally reached his threshold of negative things that he's seen, and it's like something triggered him. So it's crazy how they had to choose between Tierra and Rihanna. They both let Millie and Selena shine, Britney and Christina. We got to do better. Yeah. So who are we talking about? Stepped off for a bit. I'm tapping into the energy around Ray J before this whole incident with him and Lemon Pepper. And it just seems like Ray J has been like a cat on a hot tin roof for a minute. Whatever these women who used to work between the networks have shared with him, behind the scenes stories, these things have given him pause to the point to where it is hard for him to sleep at night. And it's something, I don't know what this is that he heard, something that was brought to him, things that were told to him, where it's like he finally reached his threshold for what he can tolerate and stand in this industry. Yeah. So it's like the fight itself was an unrequited offer, but it's like they got into a fight, the Five of Wands, over an unrequited offer attached to a choice that was made. Two of Wands, Seven of Wands. So, and I'm going to have to say allegedly, but what this feels like with the Seven of Wands under the Two of Swords, it's a mirror type situation, because it's like he wants Lemmy to stop trying to defend these actions, and he wants to cut him off from defending these actions. Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior. Yeah, he's sorry over a wounded warrior attached to some kind of like sneaky, messed up situation. Seven of Swords. Something that was covert, something that was done to somebody that harmed somebody immensely. Because Nine of Wands is somebody who fought and fought and fought again. And this person came to an end of a cycle, the world, over a decision that was made. Two of Wands. And this manifested out of trickery. The Magician at the bottom of the deck to the Seven of Swords. So, y'all, I really believe, and this is my personal belief, I really believe that Stunner Girl set Ray J off spiraling when she said what she said. On top of whatever he's already heard that already, displeased him to a certain extent. Like, he really is reevaluating everything. This man is even thinking about if he even want to be bothered with Hollywood anymore. He wants to separate himself from everybody. It's a lot of guilt, a lot of anxiety, not getting any rest. So he really is going through something that's not for social media, for the camera. He really is having an issue. Said, let me see what y'all said. Said that's why Ray J spoke out about Kim Kardashian truth. His room caught on fire. Wow. Said Kardashians thought that Ray J didn't have the paperwork. They forgot who his mother was. They only became famous because of him. Yeah, that's even an interesting story how that came about. Because Sonya Norwood, you're right, she plays no games, honey. And it's always been alleged that Kim, ran off on the plug with that credit card and spent at least $100,000. And Miss Norwood say, hey, You gonna run that money, or you gonna run the damn child line? So next thing you know, here's this video. Ends to a means, made more than $100,000 back. So it's kind of interesting how this all worked out, when you look at it on the back end. Say Ray J. Williams, get you some therapy, love. This is something that's going to be a little deeper than regular therapy, because I feel like he's seen a lot, and he's made it to a point to where this is where the mental and emotional scars, the scars cut deep, because sometimes you get desensitized to things. You see stuff so much that they don't really register as a problem until they are. And this is what this feels like. So this is really a deep thing with him. This is not just for social media. He's going through it. So I don't think J.E. wanted to be associated with certain things. It's something that he's standing on principle. Something happened that he's like, listen, we know the pimps up, the hose down culture. We know all of that. We know what makes the industry go around, but this thing right here, I'm putting my foot down. It's a no. So whatever this was, he's drawing a hard line, and he's not coming up off of it. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to pay attention to his correspondence from here on out, because him apologizing to his sister for what he's about to say is very deep. And we got to think about, what in the world could he say that would make him have to apologize to Brandy? Only thing that I could think of is what we tapped into, maybe 2 lives ago, where it couldn't have been longer than 2 lives ago, where one of you had mentioned that Brandy possibly allegedly was going to jump and Jill Scott stopped her. So that's the only situation that I can think of that he would speak to set a record straight, where he would have to apologize to her sister. Because what else is his sister involved in that's attached to him? She's not attached to anything else. Not anything that's major. So if he's about to blow the lid off of that, y'all, it's about to go deep. But Stunner Girl better watch her step. I've been telling y'all, she got the juice, but she's got to understand that this is the big boy leagues. It's certain things you can't tap into without a consequence. Well, thank you. Whoever this last comment is. Oh, my hand is itching. Yay. Yes, it is cancer season. I told y'all that the movement with this case was going to start in cancer season. The dramatic stuff was going to start, going into cancer season. So, even with the lemon pepper Ray J thing, all cancer season. Cancer season is going to be very, very interesting, because if we look at the way everything is aligned, we got to think about what's in retrograde, what's direct, on top of the fact that we're in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius represents the age of knowledge. So a lot of things are going to come out. And it's going to be things to where, if y'all think right now is information overload, where you feel like you're starting to know these people too well, you got the next 2 years of information overload, because we're looking at people starting to get caught up this year. 2025 to 2026, people are going to be on trial. And what you cannot hide is information that comes out that is public record on trial. So just imagine what's going to come out by the time that the diddler could possibly face trial. Think about what can happen about, the other gatekeepers from hip hop that could allegedly go down because they're attached to the diddler. Think about what could come out on them when these trials come about. TD Jakes keep thinking he gonna Tootsie roll through. He about to be embarrassed too, because his information is gonna start coming out in them courts. So Angel, oh, why you retracted? I was just about to read it, Teresa. So there's 97 people in here. Come on, guys, get the likes up. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm telling y'all think that 2024 did it. Get ready. You're going to see a lot of people fall from grace. Like, even with this whole Drake situation with Rick Ross, the people of Canada, not just the people of Vancouver where that show us, the people of Canada are rallying together to ask Drake to return his key to the city. So think about that. He's one of their biggest rappers to come out the country. Okay? You're telling someone who's in the arguably top 5, top 10 of hip hop, period, globally, to return their key to the city. And these are the citizens from where you come from, because people are alleging that he's hired Hell's Angels and he's making these people, do his dirty work, allegedly. And because the Canadian people feel that this is a thing, they are rallying to make him hand over any of the accolades that he has gotten from, getting the key to the city to wherever else he got. I believe that he has a day or something named after him. They're trying to, baby, the Canadian people are not playing. They're like, take that day off the calendar, get that key. Like, they are not feeling him. Said, I saw this on TikTok. While we can't see ourselves on a cell phone call while dreaming, I tried to remember but couldn't. Said, I wonder how Princess feels. Seemed like she's found her own thing, that she has been happier. At the end of the day, she got to hold it together as a mother for her children as well, for what they see. So I could just imagine. So with all this being exposed, what do you think the future of music industry will look like? How does it look for our faves like Nicki, Tory, and other wrongfully blackballed artists? What's happening is that the industry is dying out the way that it used to be. The big corporate companies, you don't really need them anymore like you used to. So it's to the point now where I would say, if you could be independent, now is the time to be an independent artist. You may sell less, but you make more money because the money is going to you. You own your whole catalog and you have your creative control. You just have to be good with how you invest into your project to get it out there. But it's going back to the indie, because the big labels are losing too much. And eventually it's going to cost too much to be an artist signed to a label. We're practically there now. See, he's a representative of them. They're not playing with his ass. Yes, you can see plain as day. So, yeah, I would say anybody, even if you work in film and television, starting your own companies. So, well, if I was Sexy Red, I would invest in eyewear. She's known for glasses, so that would make sense. She can do sensible glasses. She can do, ratchet Glasses for the girls that listen to her. She could even do glasses where it says sexy for president on the inside of the armband. If it's something that you're known for, why not monetize it? That would be a great idea if she did frames. Did you do a pull on Ray J and the Kardashians before? If not, could you do a read? I never read him in the Kardashians. He said, I like that she wears glasses. Um, I didn't like that last song that she did, that her and Drake, but I do like what she did with 42 Dubs, that No Panties On song that they did. Ratchet or not, that fit more in her pocket. That actually felt better for her as an artist, and the video came off better for her as an artist. But I did not like the song that she did with Drake. That song sounded like a train wreck. It was too many moving parts. Her messing up that note. It was terrible. But her and 42 Ducks, they sound way better together. That was a better match. How do you think Nicki's label would do? Will anyone that we know signed to her? You said it's comedy. Business at the end of the day is business. And as long as Nicki hires people that are great at business, she's going to do well. The only thing is, because some people are sour towards Nicki, she may have to really, really, really put in the footwork, because, just like they blocked her from radio, they can try it on her artist. So she's going to have to be aware of that. But I think that Nicki's influence is big enough to still be able to pull it off. Said, I laughed hard when I seen her on BET. Let's see. What was I answering? Hold on. Ray J and the Kardashians. Show me the energy between Ray J and the Kardashians. Y'all. The Reader, the Two of Wands, and the Justice at the bottom of the deck. That does not surprise me. And I want y'all to pay attention to how this Reader looks, okay? Doesn't that fit the aesthetic of a Kardashian? Her mom gives off that high priestess energy. So that represents a decision that had to be made due to justice. Remember I told y'all about that card and the alleged $100,000? Had to make a decision due to justice. The Lovers, this was the decision. Had to manifest the Lovers. Yeah, created an opportunity to avoid a situation with justice that came out of them being lovers. We already know what that was. The Chariot. It was forward movement from that point on out. And this is how they begin to start working. Eight of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. Fell in love with being a star. Yeah. And this was all because this all came out of somebody having high anxiety, not being able to sleep. Excuse me. Not being able to sleep. High worry and exhaustion over a large amount of money. So, yeah, they came up with a plan, which was this lover situation that was going to bring balance. Also help them out of a legal situation that was going to bring in work. They decided to move forward with it. Ace of Cups represents abundance, not just love. And it's like having high anxiety because they didn't know how this was going to pay off. That's what this was. They didn't know how this was going to pay off. But this collaboration turned her into a star. So they rolled the dice on this one. They didn't even know how this was going to turn out, if this was going to work. if they were going to be able to generate the money that had to be paid back to Ray, but it happened to work out. And this is what built the infrastructure of the family and brought money. And this is attached to the mom. So this is saying allegedly that Kris Jenner was the one who possibly came up with this idea to make this love tape happen due to this legal situation. Yeah, this is crazy. Said there's a voicemail where Kim Kardashian was mad at Ray J for dating Whitney Houston. Can you tap in on that? You said Chris the Pimp. Yes, baby, 8 of Swords. Afraid of going to jail because it's like these charges were going to come swiftly, and it was going to show that this was a collaboration, a concerted effort. So this is telling me that Miss Norwood, she played no games. Let them know, if y'all don't come up with this money, y'all going to jail. Y'all better figure this out swift, fast, in a hurry. And here's the mom protecting the abundance. Like I said, this is Chris that came up with this in secret. The high priestess. You got the high priestess, and you got, what is this? The reader that's hit the table. This confirms that occult energy attached to her. She manifested this. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, they were afraid about what they had to invest into this because they didn't know how this was going to come back and yield a financial reward. This is crazy. Like, damn, her mother is the one who allegedly came up with this plan to keep her and whoever else from going to jail. Let's see, Chris Brown name is all up in the Diddler lawsuit that came out today. Damn, another one came out today? I can't even blink. They claim Chris was at Diddy's house with underage girls. Lord have mercy. I promise you, I'm gonna mess around and not have room for my own content because of all these dockets that I keep getting. This is what, lawsuit number 11 for Puffy so far? Damn, damn, damn. Chris, they finally took you out the group chat, and now this. Yeah. Hold on, let me see if there's any validity to Chris being brought up in this lawsuit. God. I'm telling you, the way the industry is going, you're going to have to just let your favorite cousin perform for a bottle of Hennessy at the family get-together. The one cousin that was talented and never made it, that's going to be the person that performed for the block after this. Said, yes, Puffy breaking records again. Number 1, baby. Lord have mercy. If you reducing the number 11, it's like, who has 11 lawsuits in less than a 6-month span of time? Said it's already too much for me. I can't keep up. I'm already beaten. You and me both. This said his lawsuit will be as high as R. Kelly's. I see this being higher. Goodness gracious. Show me the energy around Chris and how he's tied into this. Yeah. 8 of Swords to Judgment. I mean, excuse me, 8 of Wands to Judgment. Like, this is like swift movement to bring him into the possible court. Yeah. This is damn. This is you got the Star, Justice, and the Lovers. Y'all, this is about to be. If y'all thought what was already out was crazy, this is about to be blockbuster. Okay? Judgment. And see, this judgment, look, I can show this because they not showing nobody's unnecessary parts. But y'all see these people ain't got no clothes on and they're being judged. Okay? The Artist. Heartbreak, the Three of Swords. Oh, God. The Queen of Wands. The Knight of Swords, the Queen of Swords. Y'all, I just told y'all the next 2 years is going to be the years of lawsuits. This is going to be extremely messy. I mean, extremely messy. Let me see. What is... Whew. So that was found to be untrue months ago. I'll send it to you. I don't think he was willing there with young girls. Probably didn't know. They are doing to hire up people of color. Look at the pattern of everything. That is not seems that it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. Don't be fooled. Here's the thing. I want y'all to take the whole color thing out of this because I see I just got something in my email. The media has been playing in a lot of people's face, okay? And because they're playing in a lot of people's face, we're not seeing both sides of the algorithm get in trouble equally. But I want y'all to realize, like right now, Jimmy Iovine is, in the midst of a case where he's being sued for, being, we'll say being a creep, because there's only so much I can say. You've got, it's countless, like rock stars, like the white algorithm has just as many people facing charges right now for being inappropriate. Okay? Because I gotta watch how I say this because I'm on YouTube. So the algorithm is messed up on both sides. Said nobody don't see the issue. No rock and roll or Playboy or other are up in the front. Are up in for the front. They're definitely trying to change the landscape to control the movement because, this is where women have to be careful because there's an attack where they want to neutralize a certain type of masculinity, okay? And you got to realize that these same people who want to neutralize this certain type of masculinity would also want to neutralize women who are in the forefront that have a voice as well. So if you think about what drill rap has done to the male rap industry, where the drill rappers don't make it but so far until they're unalive, a lot of them aren't making it to see their first album go #1. Think about what's happening with the girls when the girls are coming out and you think, oh, okay, I could be like Sexy Red, I could be like Carisha, I can, be like Cardi, I can get pregnant over and over again and keep going. No, you can't. They were allowed to do so because they're chosen to do certain things. Their careers are in different stratospheres. They're around different people that make things possible for them. The average girl that goes out and does this is going to have a very hard problem trying to move around without assistance, without being co-signed by certain people. They don't pick stars due to talent. They pick stars due to who they choose. Said, can I read around the allegations around Brandy knowing what happened to Whitney? Do you think that's what Ray is apologizing about? Um, I think for the most part, that's something that he's apologizing about. I'm keying in on the fact that he said that he would no longer accept the money, the dirty money, and that he was going to set the record straight. What dirty money is he talking about? What record is he talking about? Setting straight? How could he set this record straight, and why would he have to apologize to his sister to do so? That's where I said this is deeper than music. This is deeper than, anything that people think that it's about. Because whatever, you know, um, Stunner Girl tapped into when she made that comment, baby, she hit Ray in a soft spot, and it brought down a whole slew of emotions. There's my candle popping again. Yeah, it brought down a slew of emotions. It really did. Whatever she said, the moment that he was in at that time, she struck him somewhere here. And just listening to everything that he's been listening to with all these women, it's like something finally hit him like a ton of bricks. And he had an awakening moment that led to a deep, dark depression, because he's looking at, damn, I've been a part of this system. I've been a part of what's been going on for years. I don't agree with this, and this. I can't be like this. Like, I think what the difference is, guys, what I'm pulling from is he has daughters now. He has to think about, what if this was his daughter? How would somebody do this to his daughter? See, before he was single, he didn't have any children. After you have children, it changes your outlook on a lot. And that's what I feel like is pulling at his heart. Like, he thinks about, what if this was my daughter? Who is this out here on this motorbike? So yeah, let me see what y'all saying over here. So all the Ricos going on, but the KKK or Hell Angels are okay. They're going after organized gangs, but we have not seen one court case um, in the direction of the opposition. I'm not going to say that, sweetheart, and I'm going to tell you one thing's for certain and two for sure. Watch how this moves, okay? When you get off into naming the association that you just named, and we just talked about how Drake is possibly linked to this group and this association, and they may allegedly work for him, according to the rumor mill. That doesn't just pull the FBI in, that pulls in Homeland Security. Homeland Security is above the FBI. We have a well-known rapper that comes across country lines to work, and he is assaulted by someone who has dual citizenship, who lives in the United States as well as in Canada. That opens up counties and provinces on both sides to investigate. This is why Luke came forward today and told people not to laugh, to take this serious, that this is no laughing matter, because y'all, the eyes are really on the industry right now. People are really catching cases right now. This is not, something to laugh off and agree with, because now you've got international, law enforcement that is about to be attached to this. So some of the folks that you see that might be your favorites, like I said, don't be surprised when things start coming into court, because it's about to be a rocky 2 years for some of these celebrities due to court. I promise you that. Do I ever read on the Rick Ross incident? Baby, which incident? He's had a bunch of them. We talking about Ross. Ross has had significant issues throughout the years when it comes to beef. Let's see, I'm gonna wait for your response. So Angel, maybe Tory's being out the way was God's plan in its own way. Oh, I believe so. Because look at how all this stuff is hitting the fan while he's sitting down. He has nothing to do with nothing. So can you tap into how Henny feels about her album flopping and Tory's motion? Okay, I'm going to make this one my last one of the evening because I got a long day tomorrow. And to everyone who wants to be a part of the tarot class, I'm going to be contacting you this week to let you know about the morning and afternoon classes, so that we can go ahead and get started probably like maybe in a week and a half, no longer than 2 weeks from now, because I don't want to wait too much longer. Alrighty. Show me the energy around how Henny feels about this album. And show me... Okay, Teresa, have you emailed me already? If you haven't emailed me, email me at angelkissestheoracle@gmail.com. And I will definitely put you on the list that I will message this week. Said I seen and love support today's star Tory Lanez Peterson and his family. Show me the energy around Henny and this album. Wow. So we've got the Knight of Cups to the Judgment card. And this is like an offer being made, tying up loose ends, possibly like causing someone to face a final end, because judgment means that a decision is going to be made that's going to pretty much put a stamp on everything. Say, oh, I definitely a yes for the tarot class. I'll see you in the emails. Yeah. So she's very defensive, guys, about this not working out well. And bottom of the deck is the World. There y'all go with the firecrackers. The bottom of the deck is the World, which means there's an end of a cycle. So she knows one way or the other, like the thrill is gone. She's coming to an end, whether she likes it or not. And this is the part where, it hurts. It's defensive, because it's like, wow. The truth is, there was a lot of money that was spent and invested. Wow. So we've got, at the bottom of the deck, we got the Moon. And then we've got the Five of Wands and the Lovers, which means that there is secret information around a fight connected to a decision made about people who were in a triangle. So she's thinking about what actually happened that day. And see, this is winding down to somebody, you know, being sorry because things are not working out. But would she say your time is up? Why you still here? Why you ain't clocking out? It's like too little too late. He said Benziton said she was coming for her money. Yes, she did. She surely did. So it's like she's figuring out what, you know, the blessings that come out of chaotic energy, the toxicity. You know, what they say, how you gonna win when you're not right within? Like things are finally like backfiring. Six of Wands. So it's like she wants to move on forward towards victory after this. But y'all, after all of this, she's still in the Knight of Wands type energy. So she's going to be very aggressive, very defensive, even defensive over, you know, people not feeling the content of this album, because the Knight of Wands represents, you know, here for the short time, not the long time sexual energy. So she's going to be defending the content of this album. And see, this is why they're trying to monitor how she moves, because they don't want her to get defensive in front of people. They're worried about what it is that she can say. Y'all know that anytime the Queen of Wands comes out, that represents her persona, the hot girl. So, Angel, I don't think you seen my Rick response. I was trying to see if you can read on Rick and how he feels about what happened to him and his crew in Canada. Okay, I'll have to circle back around to that, because I actually was discussing why he didn't move a certain way, which was how he felt. Let me tie it together. Because he used to work in law enforcement, I don't know if you remember that or not when that was, you know, brought to the public. He knows about how law enforcement moves, okay? So cheap shot, cheap move, yes, but he also realizes this is bigger than some street stuff, and he doesn't want to get caught up in the storm that's coming for Drake, because he knows something. Even when the game dissed him for Drake, notice he didn't diss back. He's trying to stay out of this some kind of way because he knows what's about to come. He can smell a shower of rain. Said Henny wasn't thinking about that when she was lying on the stand. Yeah. Ace of Swords falls over the Knight of Wands, which means we're going to start to hear some very salacious stories about private moments, which I'm not surprised about, because we still haven't heard this Emilio Cucci case come before the judge yet. And that was salacious just to start off with. And this is a wish fulfillment. Y'all, the industry is going to turn on her, and you're going to start to see stories pop up about her. And it's going to be like, well, damn, where'd that come from? They're going to pick her apart through the vlogs. So trying to defend a lie is hard. She's not stable, plus she has a hostile streak. Funny you said she has a hostile streak, because the Five of Wands and the Lovers fall right on top of the Queen of Wands, which is her persona, the hot girl. And her persona is attached to the Seven of Cups, having multiple options. And this is also my card of, you know, consumption. So there's going to be something that's going to come out. The Four of Pentacles. This is going to affect her abundance for sure. when this message comes out, y'all. So you've got her considering her options with opportunities on the way. But here's some secrets. Y'all, what I tell y'all, don't be surprised when somebody starts running to the vlogs and they start sharing these party stories with her, or third party situations that we possibly would have never known about. Said Henny and Secret's about to be dragged off to the stable by her hooves. Baby, listen. And I'm seeing that this moon is falling under the Seven of Wands and the Page of Swords, which means she's going to be very defensive, you know, in the public, and also towards something that people may have already seen and judged in secret. She's afraid of how people are going to value her, how they're going to look at her once this this other shoe drops, so to speak. Once the truth comes out about, you know, her hasty ways and things that she may have done in secret, yeah, we got the Hermit here. She's gonna go into seclusion. It's like we're gonna find out about this imaginary fight that was had. Okay. Sammy, I did a reading on the Emilio case. All I said for Emilio is that he needs to, you know, hold on and don't let go. Like, don't let them shake him. He needs to keep this case in California because he has a good case, and that's why they're trying to move it out of California. They know if they move it out of California, they're going to have like a home court advantage. If it's closer to New York, they'll have a little bit more influence, a lot of bit rather. Yeah. The devil, toxic energy. We also know that's Capricorn. So whatever is going to possibly come out, don't be surprised if something very damaging comes out during Capricorn season. The Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, she's considering her options and what she needs to do about these brand deals that are coming in now and how this is going to affect her financial stability. Yeah. This is why she worried. This is going to put hardship on her. They're going to lay her contracts to rest if they can get this case reheard and get the truth out. Yeah, this is being very deep in your emotions. Y'all. Whew, it's about to be some secrets. Some deep secrets that nobody expects to hear that are going to come out, where people are literally going to clutch their imaginary pearls. And Cancer season is just the beginning of it. Yes, you said mental note. Capricorn season makes mental note. I want y'all to also realize that Capricorn season is the kickoff for the winter solstice. Winter solstice starts December 21st. We just came out of the summer solstice that took us into Cancer season. So when you know that the winter solstice, where a lot of sacrifices and things are allegedly done, happens between June the 21st, well, excuse me. Yeah, June the 21st to December the 21st. This is a very active season. She's going to go down increasingly until the winter solstice, and then there's going to be a big unveiling of some information of hers. I don't know who she's making this mad, but somebody's going to start leaking some very, very dark information. Let's see. Can you tap into why she denies her sisters that look just like her? Why does she pretend to not have family? She has lots of them. Now, y'all heard that, right? I want y'all to see this. Okay? Now, interesting. I'm going to answer this. But see, when she did the Club Shay Shay interview, I told y'all that he asks yes and no questions. And he allowed her to expound upon these yes and no questions. What was just said here is, why does she keep denying her sisters when they look just like her? She's been saying she's an only child. What's going to happen when people find the family that she has that she claims she doesn't have? Because remember, she said she's the only child with a very small family. So what happens if a vlogger goes to San Antonio, goes to Houston, and runs across her family that she says she's not supposed to have, or they prove that she has family that she claims she doesn't have? Don't y'all know how weird that's gonna look? Let me pull a few cards on that, because I'm gonna get out of here in a minute. Also, I remember he asked about her if she was born and raised in Houston. She said yes. That is a yes and no question that she's, failed, because you were born in San Antonio. Now, we don't know exactly when you moved to Houston, what year you were in school, but that's a simple yes and no question. Says she lies about the silly things. She thinks she's above them. That heifer is not from Houston. Says she wasn't born in Houston, LOL. So we've got the Ace of Cups here that represents abundance, love and abundance, right? That's the first card out. Judgment. 9 of Wands, the wounded warrior. Y'all, that's an interesting combination when we're answering why did she deny her sisters. This feels like somebody who felt like they were, they were not loved. They were judged, okay? Because you got love and abundance on one side and judgment. She feels like she was judged allegedly by the people who loved her, and this put her in the wounded warrior status. Knight of Pentacles, very slow movement. Explain that a little better, please, and thank you guys. The Hermit. So this is like people who really don't move around each other quite often, slow to associate, to communicate. The Hermit is someone who pretty much stays off to themselves, stays away from everybody. So interesting enough, the Hermit represents someone that becomes highly knowledgeable during the time that they are in seclusion. So she may have learned throughout the years when she was away from these people that she loved or she felt was supposed to love her was judging her, and this is why she was slow to move towards them. The Empress at the bottom of the deck, which represents the mother and child. Is this towards Holly? Show me. Is this towards Holly? Were they judging Holly? Baby, listen. The Tower and the Lovers just hit. There was something about this relationship that people did not feel. They judge the relationship between Holly and the father. Five of Wands. What is, it's like she's fighting, because this is the card of fighting, but she's fighting to keep information from coming out, because we got the Empress sticking out the deck, and then we've got the Ten of Pentacles. It's like she's fighting to keep information attached to her mother and her family close to her chest. And this is a hangman. Hangman falling under love. Baby, if a hangman falls under love, that means this was a situationship, allegedly. Also, why doesn't Meg have childhood friend or friends? Kelsey is a friend that she met in college, and T. Ferris doesn't count. What about someone who went to middle school or public school? Very interesting question. Let's see, he said it's weird. On Club Shay Shay, she acted like she wished she had siblings, but she has a whole sister. I've seen that, the alleged sister, I'm going to say allegedly, since we're on social media here, but they look a whole lot alike. Similar features. They pretty much, 80% of their face is very, very similar. The long hair and everything. Both very pretty girls. They look a lot alike. So we've got the Five of Cups and the Seven of Swords. Okay, so that's somebody that's in deep shame, regret, hurt, remorse over possibly having to be a secret or sneaky activity. Y'all, I'm going to say a huge allegedly, but this is feeling like side chick and side chick baby. And I'm saying allegedly. Said, to be fair, I don't keep up with friends I met in school. No beef, no bad blood. We just grew apart. I went separate ways. I get what both of you are saying. I think the point is that they don't have anyone that ties her to a life before college, and it just feels and seems weird. Like there's no one to say we went to fifth grade together or we went to summer camp. So it makes it seem like her story didn't begin until she got to college, which seems kind of weird. Said she's her mother's only child, but not her father. Dad probably married. We're going to say allegedly. Said Hollywood had hot girl energy too. Yeah. Said I was thinking that side chick baby. Said the family is too much. Not look us video coming soon. Just saw the screenshot. Kendrick smacking the owl pinata. No, stop it. So yeah, this is feeling like, side baby allegedly. Said Leo coming and the surprise is coming. Just wait. Her sister. Okay, so somebody naming her sister. Her sister Ashley looks just like her. She was at her mom's funeral too. See, that's crazy. And yeah, I seen the picture of the girl. They look just alike. The father's genes are strong. They look like the daddy. Said that could be it, side baby thing, but they were cool at one point because the sis was at the mom's funeral. Whether they were cool or the sister was showing solidarity for her sister, is to be determined. They may not have a close a relationship, but she was trying to be supportive of her sister. But interesting, sister was at the funeral. Queen of Cups falling under the Knight of Pentacles. So, Queen of Cups can be an intuitive woman, not just, a very kind woman. And the reason why I'm going with intuitive falling under this Knight of Pentacles is that this will be somebody intuitive about why something didn't move forward. why there's an issue with the money. Y'all, Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which represents third party energy. You see three different women here. So he probably was out here on his hot boy, city boy stuff. Because I just, the energy that I'm getting is someone feeling like the people who were supposed to love them is casting judgment on them. And this is why things didn't move beyond a certain point. The Hermit also can be someone who is off to themselves because they've been ostracized due to a lover's quarrel or conflict that caused the Tower. Says she just posted her cousin came to support her show a couple of days ago. Funny how, a person who says they got a very small family all of a sudden now is starting to have family. So, Angel, that's probably why Megan is so frisky with the men. She has daddy issues. Could be, allegedly. Five of Swords is the arguing card, harsh communication, the Hermit. So, y'all, there was a Tower to equal reciprocity and also a money situation, people fighting. The Wounded Warrior. And this is the energy that I get around her mom when her mom passed. Like her mom fought and fought and fought until she couldn't fight anymore and she just became tired. Said Jalen, that was random, LOL. Said I felt that because my mom, dad was a married man and that side of the family don't mess with us. His other kids hate my mom and we have never met them. And wow, we have never met them ever. And my granddad was a pastor at the church. Yeah, this definitely feels like a judgmental situation that was attached to, how they hooked up and feeling like the father's side judged them for whatever the situation was between the mother, which caused, separation, possibly anonymity between the family. So that feels like that's the answer behind why she talks about being an only child. Is not because she is an only child. It's because she grew up being her mother's only child and feeling ostracized by her father's side of the family, allegedly. Now, I'm tapping into feelings. Feelings can be subjective. Not saying that that's what happened, but that's the energy I get around why she's made the decision to erase a huge part of the family. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, y'all. Everybody have a wonderful evening. I thank you so much for joining in with me. Much love to all of you. Many blessings for everybody. Station Head, I'm going to go ahead and end you first. And then YouTube, I'm ending you next. Good night, everybody on Station Head. Okay, and good night, YouTube. Yeah, I'm about to go and be greedy and make some very bad decisions in the kitchen. So I will have a great 4th. All of you as well. Be safe. And I will talk to you soon. I have new content that I saw that just finished uploading. So after this live is over, the AG's decision and what's to come from here is going to, be visible for all of you to see. I'm going to take it off of private. And hopefully I can get something up for everyone to watch for the holiday. If not, you'll have the one that's up tonight. Talk to y'all soon. Have a safe holiday, everybody. And that AG reading took some. Aw, said you ate this setup. Yeah, the AG reading was interesting because it started off with the AG's decision and then it kind of took a turn towards the end that showed us what the fate can be towards the end of this case. So everybody enjoy. Happy 4th of July. Be safe. I love y'all all. Good night. Talk to y'all soon.